forgot to start the music. What's wrong?
Well, we're running late anyway, so we'll say 3 minutes.
Yeah, why not? We'll save the 3 minutes. Just pretend there was an intro song here, and
anyway,
something about the neutral zone, Swarley, and L/Slack.
Just play it in the background. It'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah. I was looking at changing this background, and then I was like, oh crap, the whole thing went away. Let me play this in the background. Hold on. Here. Okay. Shit. Here we are. Just super prepared.
Unscripted as per usual, because that's what we're all about.
Right. Yeah. We don't even know what's going on from one moment to the next.
Well, the show's unscripted. We just start talking, see what happens. We should get the link out there in case there are some randoms that just want to jump in and say hi.
Yeah, I put it out here. It's in the chat now, I think.
In the chat. What about on YouTube? Oh, not YouTube, but on in game in the chat.
I put it in game. I'll put here. Let me send it to you. Actually, just steal that.
Well, you got that. Isn't there like a content or just in the feed or something in game? I don't know. I don't use it much.
Yeah. I can't put it in the feed because, or like in the chats, because you can't put links in there. Or sorry, the channels. I put it in my feed.
I think you can in the UCN one, or the. I did it the other day. That's how Blue Brain ended up in here. Because, hang on, what channel did I use?
General, new player help, Sparklet.
I don't know. I don't know what I did. Yeah, putting the new player channel would be good, but they'll put links. Thank you, Upland, for restricting us adults from being able to do stuff that's useful.
Yeah, no shit.
I mean, I know there are bad apples that like to ruin it for everybody, but come on.
Yeah, put it in your feed, I guess, as well. I probably should put it on X. Here, let's do this. Come join us live on the Neutral Zone.
I have an update with X I probably should speak about.
You have a what?
We were chatting the other day about how the current Spark program on X is working and how it works and how what you need to do to achieve a higher score or a higher multiplier.
Mm-hmm.
And I said I wasn't that interested. I wasn't going to try and stir any pots. Well, I changed my mind.
I saw that right away.
I changed my mind. I'm like, nah, fuck it. I'll just see what feathers I could rustle. And then when I attracted the attention of Miss Brown,
like,
Danny Brown.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, if she's commenting, I must have something wrong here because there's no way in hell I know more about the game than she. I'm not even going to try and argue with her and go, no, you're wrong, I'm right, because I know before I even start thinking that I'm wrong. Yeah. So I went back and watched, because I'll be honest with you, most of the releases that come out, most of them I don't read. I'm like Ben, I don't read them. But what I do is I watch a lot of content from, say, yourself and pretty much everybody, Cheese, Goldie, and obviously our show. By the time it gets to our show, because it's usually announced the day after our show, so we've had a whole week to sort of digest it. I tend to have my head pretty much all over it just by listening to everyone else speak about it. I mean, and to be fair, like Goldie's pretty good at reading it out and going through it. Cheese is really good at putting her own spin and opinions on stuff like that. So I appreciate getting the content while supporting other content creators. I appreciate getting the content that way as opposed to just reading it myself, which I do from occasion, but not as much as I should. And so my impression from watching and listening to, excuse me, my coughing, guys, I'm sorry about that, was from the get-go that you non-BitGet users could not win any of the prizes. Like initially, when it first came out, the way it stood, that you weren't eligible to enter the draw for the motor vehicle or the properties on the island because you couldn't access BitGet. And that was never the case from day one. So those awards and those prizes, which seemed to be upsetting people that you couldn't enter them, and not so much yourself, but more some other people, obviously chatter on Twitter and whatnot. But
oh yes, the Twitters.
But I rewatched your stream, which you did on the way to work. So granted, you're driving, and that was when you were trying to get the thing to read it out to you and stuff like that, which didn't work. But you could read it on the screen. So I was looking at that this morning, just sort of going, okay, well, this is where I was getting my information. And you got hung up on the BitGet bit when you were reading it, rather than the fact that even the competition said, you just got to bridge it in. And you're like, well, how can I bridge it in if I can't buy it? And that's
I didn't understand it at the moment.
Yeah. And I think on the show that week, I said to you, well, there's always going to be the DEX. There's always going to be available on DEX. There was never ifs, ands, or buts. That's the given. There was no... that's the easiest thing Upland could do, was put the token on the DEX. So to get it on that was always a piece of piss. That was always the impression that you guys were excluded from all the prizes. And the actual fact is, anything you're excluded from was the staking rewards on the BitGet. Absolutely everything else that's been announced from day one, you guys have been eligible for and available.
Minus the car. Couldn't get the car.
Well, are you though? Because I didn't go double check the car itself. The properties you 100% were able to get from day one. You guys are never excluded from that, because it just simply said and even said in the notes, just bridging it in. It didn't say it had to be bridged in or bought from BitGet. Just said bridge it in. Which I do find strange that BitGet have, apparently forked out 70 grand to buy all these properties, and they're giving away to anybody rather than just BitGet customers. But anyway, which, look, there's obviously a partnership between the two. So exactly the deals and details and stuff like that, obviously well above my pay grade. So Danny Brown, 100% right, not surprisingly. Me, wrong, not surprising.
Yeah. She showed you. I just looked it up, and I was like, "Oh yeah."
So yeah, like I said, I probably let myself get probably listen to other people too much instead of just reading it myself and understanding it fully myself, but just listening to the opinions of other people going. And then I think maybe too many people got hung up on the fact that they couldn't access BitGet, and therefore that kind of eliminated them altogether. When if you actually read it fine properly, you're missing out on some stuff on BitGet, but you weren't missing out on a lot. And to be fair, I purchased, what was it, about 45 Spark worth of, I put it out there because it's all on the leaderboard, so it's not a secret. 45 Spark worth of Spark there, and staked that for the 7 to 10 days or whatever it was, and I ended up with an extra 3 Spark, which 2 weeks ago would have sounded really impressive, but obviously not so much anymore. So for me, with 45 Spark, I gained an extra 3. So look, better than a poke in the eye of the blunt stick, but certainly nothing to get bent out of shape about if you missed out. And it's easy in hindsight to look back and go, okay, well, knowing the full details, what you did and didn't get as a part of this promotion, it's easy to digest and understand, especially when it's not in the heat of the moment, when you first read it and think that you're missing out and being excluded, which you weren't.
Yeah,
so,
not much.
And it's still the case that the news of BitGet and where this token could go is still massively, massively good news for the whole game altogether. I'm not entirely supportive of Upland in terms of the airdrops that came after it. I don't mind all the little airdrops we have here and there, but for them to effectively 4x is probably a stretch, because not every player would have received the full amount, because you had to be in-game and all that sort of stuff as well. But for certain players, and definitely bigger players, would have been not far off 4x. The amount that for players to have gone 5 years and collect X amount and then end up with 4 times as much or 3 times as much overnight, just crazy. And
they're eating this shit out like candy.
And it's just like, honestly, I mean, people are going to be butthurt about the price when it came out. They always were, because they don't understand what's going on in the background. They don't understand crypto. Maybe those that do probably would have half expected it. I think even KO said that he was expecting a price down in this range because, again, he understands crypto and understands the wider world. I mean, Upland, I outlined why I think we're in about the right place. We're probably a bit lower than we should be, to be fair, given that we're not at the bottom of the market. We are, although after yesterday we might be.
What happened yesterday? I wasn't looking. I've been buried at work, so I haven't done it.
You said you were going to duel me over it. I just put that comment in there saying
I
that.
just say shit, man. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Well, the
You
markets
put something
around
on there, I respond. I don't even know what it's about.
not a crypto problem, but the markets around the world are taking a bit of a, or yesterday especially, took a bit of a dive. And there's three main reasons that we can best tell. One, you guys think you're about to go into a recession, which doesn't go well for the whole world.
We think that every fucking day.
Yeah, but apparently there's actual real fear that it's going to happen now. Then obviously you got this pending war that no doubt you guys will get yourself involved in as well.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, there isn't a conflict on this planet we can't seem to get our little fingers in.
Yep. And then the third thing is Japan went and broke something financial, which they fixed. Took them 30 years to fix, and literally 2 months after they fixed it, they broke it the next day almost. So there's some financial issues over there. Worst day over in their market since '87 or something, I think they said. So all these sort of things combined makes for a bit of a turbulent macro sort of situation for not just crypto markets, but markets in general. So there's a few people scared, but I don't know. Look, I've been in crypto for long enough now that I just don't give a shit. I mean, you zoom out and you look at, even look at pandemic, like Bitcoin drops like 70% in a day and a half or something because of the pandemic news. And then look what it did immediately afterwards. So,
right.
Look, it is what it is. Like, if my crypto disappeared tomorrow, I'd be upset, but I wouldn't be, it wouldn't be the end of the world for me. Mm-hmm. So I just ignore it and move on. That's a good thing about Sparklet. Unlike everything else, we can use it to play with. Like, we don't actually have to worry about what it's worth. We can
even if it goes to fucking zero and it never recovers, at least I got it. I can build shit with it.
I'll never go to zero because players buy it. You're gonna have players like Dizzy imported 300,000. Like that's a decent amount. Still, he would have thinking he's catching up with the Big A a little bit there, but Big A bought 100,000 because apparently his a million wasn't enough, or 100 million or trillion or whatever he had, But then I guess if you wanted the, how do you know? Yeah, we'll talk about it in a minute. Actually, I didn't even realize it was out until Elslake pointed out to me a little while ago. I was too busy blendering. So anyway, I've lost my train of thought now. We're talking about Sparklet, but anyway, I think we're done.
We always talk about Sparklet. Fuck Sparklet.
Sparklet, no, not fuck.
I want to drive Sparklet right into the ground and then watch it grow and fly itself up to the moon, as they say in the crypto world. Well, to the moon! But it has to crash first.
Well, I think the crash parts happen. How much it's going to crash, well, that's the real big question. Have we already seen the bottom? Potentially. I mean, we saw, not surprisingly, with the deadline looming of getting your Spark into the game, we saw the price pump last night right before the deadline. So the thing is, Sparklet is so small that a few players can make a huge dent in the price, which is both good and bad, especially if Abdullah decides to sell all of his, and then we will be going down to zero. But I don't think that's going to happen. Well, I hope it's not going to happen. But it doesn't take much for people to start buying for that to turn around. Now, the free giveaway of Sparklet's an issue. And how much more Upland tend to give away, I don't know. If they even came close to doing the same amount for Earn Spark, which, let's face it, we still haven't heard about that. Is it really going to happen?
I want my Earn Spark. I need my fucking 0.02.
But you got to think that I don't know what the actual percentage of Earn Spark versus paid Spark in the game was, but you'd have to think there's a fair bit of Earn Spark with people treasure hunting over the years. And even DTech had a fantastic view on a lot of his Spark he's earned is through creating stuff in UGC, and including the most recent competition where he got Fire Spark. At the time, everyone's like, "Oh, that's awesome, Fire Spark."
Yeah, that's a fuck ton of money.
There you go, $50. I'll just about buy a Fire Spark now. And he's being told his Spark isn't worth as much as someone that forked out $460 for one.
Yeah, he made a really good point.
It's a load of effing bullshit. And I'm holding up blowing up about this. I know I'm going to blow up about it, but I'm holding up blowing up about it until we know for sure what the ratio is. And the whole reason I don't think we've heard about it is because I think Upland see that there's a problem here and they don't know how to fix it. I don't know. I'm absolutely speaking out of my ass here.
You think our Economist founder fucked up the economy?
Well, how much of a say did he have in it? Like, we don't know. Like, there's no communication
well,
between them and us.
Swarley, I'm posing the question.
I honestly think the worst thing they did was the airdrops. I think they just should have just sucked up the hate that would have come their way in relation to what the price of Sparklet was, and just gone, it is, we can't control it. It's in the public's hands now.
Didn't they just release another thing that says they're going to dump more Sparklet?
Well, you've got the so-called earned Sparklet to come, which may or may not come. Like, I'm not holding my breath, but we'll see what happens there. But then you've got all these different, you've got all the different Sparklet rewards over the next 3 seasons. So there's going to be no shortage of Sparklets. Now, those rewards each season aren't going to probably even come close to matching the total number given out in these 2 Sparklet dumps. I keep saying dumps because that's what it's doing to Sparklet. Drops, sorry. We'll use the right word, Sparklet drops. Because everybody was super happy and happy to post on Twitter they received 40, 50, 60 Sparklet, 60,000 Sparklets. And then they turn around in the next post and go, what are you doing about this upland? And I saw one bloke post, I won't mention names, I think you might have seen that one as well, post about Sparklet being down 700 and something %.
Yeah.
Hang on. Think about what you're typing there. First of all, you can't be down more than 100%. Just physically not possible. Secondly, we're not down 100% because it's not 0. And thirdly, learn about what's going on before you start complaining and trying to write directly to the people that run the company as to why you think it's not good. Can Upland do more to increase the utility of Sparklet? 100% they can. They could do a crap load more, and we've all got ideas on how they could do that, and hopefully they're going to do some of it. But but 3.1, what's that, Vape, in terms of the 100 million or whatever it is? Because that's still a lot of Spark. It's like a 3.1 million Spark, isn't it?
Wasn't there a billion Sparklet?
Yeah, so in terms of Spark, that's still a hell of a lot of.
Yeah, fuck yeah. 3.1 million?
I mean, 3.1% of the total supply is still a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
And that just gets dropped in there. And when you think about that in terms of the total supply, it's a lot. But even worse, when you think about how much of the total supply is actually in the game, it's nowhere near the total supply. So 3.1% of total supply is probably like 10, 20, probably even more than that % of the actual game or actual tokens in circulation. 3.4 was the drop the first time. Yeah, so 3.1. But does that also include all the season rewards for the next 3 seasons? So I mean, even if it was just if that 3.1 was just for the earn Spark, and you think every single player in the game's got some form of earn Spark, because let's say you're going to log in 7 days in a row to get something.
Right. The pool of earn Spark versus the pool of bought Spark is way, way bigger.
Is it though? We don't know how much was bought. I mean, you got Abdullah that bought a crap load, probably more than everyone put together, I'd say, on his own. And he got 4x, assuming he got 4x of what he earned, which I haven't tried to figure out how to work out the totals yet, because none of the tools we used to look at for Spark work at the moment. So you might have to go to the blockchain to figure this one out, and I haven't yet tried to do that. I might need to start doing that soon. 3.1 does, 3.4 was from the T. Yeah, so I think our earn Spark drop's going to come out of that 3.1, which doesn't bode well for earn Spark owners. Such as myself, I've gone from being a top 20 Spark owner to well out. In fact, I'm not even sure. I'm in the top 100 anymore. I don't know.
You're just
an
ass Spark owner or Sparklet owner.
Well, I'm probably still up there because I did import, I was 14th in importing it, so I wouldn't have fallen that far behind. I mean, there's definitely people in front of me, like Dizzy was someone that was well behind me, that's way in front of me now, and I'll never catch him. It's 300,000, but not that I used to look at the other players and I used to try and catch them and all that sort of stuff, but now that it's all about buying it rather than owning it. Yeah, well, that's it. Now I just I can't compete with those sort of players. Like, obviously I could never compete even owning it with Big A, but so now that it's a whole Sparklet's a whole different kettle of fish now. So trying to earn it and get up on those leaderboards, which is why I mean, again, this could be a whole different discussion, but why I think treasure hunting's dead, or not dead. That's probably the wrong word. just nowhere near as profitable as it used to be.
It's been neutered.
In terms of Spark, like most treasure hunters would say they hunt for Spark and UpX was a bonus. Now it's almost flipped the other way. I think it's like if you want to hunt, you hunt for UpX and Sparks. But I actually got 3 Spark chests this morning. I think I did about 25, 30.
No, you went and did some hunting. Did
I'd
you?
had just this morning. I was lying in bed and I didn't want to get up. So I was cold outside and warm in bed. So I think I did about 25. It was about an hour's worth. And I hadn't had any Spark chests for almost a week, but then I've probably done less than a day's hunting in the last week. And I got 3 Spark chests, and I'm like, oh, I want my 5. I haven't had a 5,000 UpX chest for ages. I'm like, oh, I want one of them. I don't want the Spark chest anymore. Like, to me, it's almost like the 5,000 UpX chest is worth more than a Spark chest, which almost feels wrong.
Sorry if I'm moving a lot. My hip is fucking driving me nuts at the moment. So I just can't. I'm just trying to like stretch it out, and I feel like I'm all over the place on this thing. And I'm like, man, why can't that dude just sit still? Because my hips hurt.
All right, so we're talking about I think it was JP that brought up. So we did get. Well, we're talking about Spark. We'll talk about Treasure Island.
I love what you're doing here, but please have some faith. We're still early adopters in a very young game. Oh, I don't think our faith is wavering. I think we're kind of preaching the same.
The only thing that's wavering is my like of Upland airdropping so much Spark to everybody.
Yeah.
I think when it was dropped, when Sparklet went live, they should have just gone, you know what, you guys all bought at the top, shit happens, move on, this is the future. And once people got over it, things would have just settled down and gone to normal. There would have been people that hate the game and walked away or whatever, but I think there are anyway. So let's go check out Treasure Island.
Thanks, Dave Hyde. I appreciate the support. Yeah, let's check out Gitbit Island. It's no longer treasure.
What is wrong with my PC? That's the next question. I am so, if I ever get to go visit the States, I'm probably never going to sell this property just purely because I can. And I'm going to go visit it one day. I don't even know. Actually, I should. What is actually here?
I looked at mine. It's a parking lot.
What is it? Oh, it's a house.
You guys have like a duplex there. Or triplex, whatever the fuck that is.
Not looking like it's exactly like Hilton of.
No, I thought maybe this island would be like swanky or something. But
yeah, I was expecting something that almost. That's 3. Is that 3 different unit blocks almost?
Triplex, yeah.
I mean, shouldn't dish on people's houses, but not that there's anything wrong with these houses. I just thought this was going to be more of a yuppies. Well, yuppie is an Australian word. More of an upper class. No,
yuppie is a pretty universal word.
So you know what I'm saying then? Yeah, I was expecting a bit more flashy. I suppose is probably the right.
Yeah.
Given that it's an island. Look, not super unhappy with what I got. Like it's. Like, I don't know. Like, I was looking at it when I first got it. When you mentioned it, and I was like, I'm not grumpy. Most part, I'm not grumpy with what's going on. I get more grumpy at other people than I do Upland, to be fair. I'm not happy about Upland and the airdrops, but in terms of everything else they did with Sparklet, I think they did an amazing job. And I think Sparklet's future is amazing. And if you don't believe me, go watch Ben's show from last week.
Oh yeah, you killed it on that segment.
If you want to know what, and that segment was all about what I thought, but not so much what is actually the facts, because some of it's too hard to work out. Or you do more research. That was just an afternoon of research and what's in my head and understanding what I believe is going on. Anyway, so getting back to this, so I'm super happy, and I looked at it, and like property size wise, I'm doing okay. Like you said, mine's twice as big as yours, and I'd expect that given that I finished 14th and you finished 120.
Go to the top there. I'll see if we find mine on there, and then I think it's that green one on the left at the very end. Nope, right there. I think
that one.
You
put up sale already?
No, not that one. It must be this other green one. Yeah, I put up. Where the fuck is it? It's one of these ones.
I think
I think it's the one to the right. I looked at it while I was driving. No. That's pretty on the bottom. No, you're up there by. It's on. It's up.
Well, I've been to those ones.
No, this
How about
one.
you?
I can't. That right there. Click on that one. The green one. Oh, I guess I'm a liar. Let me just look here. Hold on a second. I'll tell you exactly where it's at. God dang it. I'm
Yeah,
like
so
pointing on my like, no, just go there.
I figured they would just like go from biggest to small, something like that, and then give whoever came first the biggest property and so on. But then a lot of properties are all the same size. And
Okay, wait. All right, go
if
up
I was
to,
going to have a gripe about it, I'd say I'd almost prefer to have one of these waterfront properties than I do in the middle. Yes, I can
I have
build
a
something
waterfront.
bigger in the middle, but I just think the waterfront property would be able to sell. If I choose to sell one day, the waterfront, for some reason, I don't know why, because it makes no difference in the game whether you have a waterfront property or not. But people tend to buy the waterfront properties over not. So I don't know. I would say maybe the waterfront ones are more desirable.
All right. So go up a little bit more. Okay. So stop, and then you see where it has all those like shit on it, all the map assets. Yeah, right there. That's the one right next to that one. The green one. There it is.
1 million. Yeah, good luck.
No, I don't really want to sell it, but if somebody wants to buy it, I'll sell it for that happily.
What is the floor for it at the moment?
I think I saw like 75,000.
Yeah, it hasn't changed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't really want to sell it because I don't.
Maybe not. Yeah, I don't want to sell mine. I thought about it and I was like, no, I haven't even got mine up for sale. I'll probably there's no need for me to hold on to it. But this is what first got me thinking, because I'm looking at this property all by sort of lonesome over here, and I'm like, F yeah, I want that one. If I pick, and I almost wish I know it'd be logistically near impossible to organise 288 people to pick one after the other. But I'd almost like
a draft.
Where you get one person gets to pick which property they want first, but I mean that could take weeks, or it'd be a nightmare. I mean, this property is slightly smaller than mine, but to think this person finished way lower on the list than me, to think that I'd almost be happy with that than not that I'm unhappy with this whatsoever. But just over there on the water,
in the middle of the island, there's nothing sexy about it.
Well, I'm not too far from the headquarters. Does that make any difference? Probably not.
I was pretty happy I got
the headquarters right here, but
is that the headquarters right there?
Well, I think so. And the racetrack's on the other side, so I definitely don't have a racetrack property. So that's just what sort of building that is. I keep doing Blender controls and it doesn't work in my blend. I don't know. I've seen that building before. I don't know if that's a special one for BitGet or what the story is there, but definitely a BitGet property. And then just over the other side here, we've got the racetrack being built. Where it is.
Oh.
So we don't know where the track's going to go. So given that I'm all out of the realm, I'm not going to be on the track. It's all dead end streets.
Yeah.
So look, if you're one of these people, you're probably getting excited that you're probably going to be on the racetrack. Not definitely, but probably. So again, there's pros and cons for every property. Like I said, I'm not unhappy with mine. I'm part of it, and I've got an island, property on the island. Having said that, there's 888 properties on the island, and they only gave out 288 this round. So there's still 600 there. So
yeah,
I wonder.
Or they're going to give away more properties.
Well, there must be.
Because I thought I saw when it said to connect your BitGet account, you'd be entered to win a property. I'm pretty sure because I did that, with my VPN. But obviously I can't do anything beyond that. But I did link my BitGet account. I was able to get while I was pretending to be in Australia.
No, just linking it's probably if you can just register, even if you can't KYC, that might even been enough to get you over that line. Who knows? It doesn't hurt to try, does it? I like that. I hadn't crossed my mind, but I don't know what you can and can't do from your end. But I like that little tip you put out there. So hopefully some people took notice of that and actually registered. So again, get you a chance of winning something.
Take whatever I can get.
I've got Block Explorer. Oh, that's interesting. I have my Block Explorers off this account, but I can still see all the Block Explorers on Actress.
On what?
on Alcatraz.
Oh,
Actually, technically, they're not on Alcatraz. They're on the island. Is it Angel Island? Because Alcatraz is the tiny one, isn't it?
no, they're on Alcatraz. I mean, it's tiny.
No, I'll show you. They're different. Present, share, screen.
Angel Island State Park.
So obviously, Treasure
Oh,
Island
that's
here.
the Cat Island.
So Alcatraz is this one, isn't it?
This is that cat one.
Yeah, but isn't... Oh, okay, so that's different again. So, well, that explains why they're showing up. So this is Alcatraz, yeah?
Yeah.
The little tiny one, and then you've got this, which... All right, so you're saying that's different again. So all these block explorers.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Retired kitty. I mean, to me, they look like player accounts, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, there's Alcatraz. Yeah. I don't know. I heard about this Cat Island thing. I don't understand what is going on.
Well, I have block explorers off, so for me to be saying that, it means they're not classed as block explorers. So
no, there's some weird. Is this some sort of NFT project?
I have no idea. I have no clue.
Kitty.
Anyway,
Kitty.
So that's
they're owned by somebody.
I would love to know though. Speaking of treasure hunting, I'd love to know old NFT projects put to pastures to die. If there's any, I'd love to know if there's any treasure hunters, like what I'd class as regular, or like I used to class myself as a full-time treasure hunter because I'd try and do the 80 cents every day. Now I don't care. But like I said, I spent about an hour treasure hunting this morning, and I sort of started noticing this the other day when I did a few as well. I'm almost convinced that they've changed or they've done something to the Discovery Zone around the Block Explorer. I'm sure it's changed shape. Bad.
Oh.
Absolutely bad. Hang on, give me a sec. It's going to take a while for me to... I took a photo or a screenshot of one that I missed this morning. I'm going to have to send it through to talk about something for a minute. But no, I just... and I'd love to know if other people... Because obviously Upland don't give us information on this or tell us what's going on. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I mean, Upland have made changes to the Discovery Zone of Block Explorers numerous times in the past, and we've just got to adapt and improvise and overcome and hunt. I wish they would just tell us if they did stuff, just so we know.
But that wouldn't be the Upland way.
Yeah, they don't like sharing stuff with us.
No, they don't. Vape Guy, where did you find your... Where's your Gitbit Island property? Is it a good one? You got a good location? What's your stats? What's your stats, bro? I want to know. I'm sitting at 21 UP2 on I technically the waterfront. Oh, look at this. Look at this stupid here. I'm gonna share quick. Look how lame. I mean, it's cool I got this property here, right? But when you look at the street, it's like a fucking parking lot.
Maybe your place is over the back or something.
I mean, maybe it's this. Maybe it's this. You know, this. Whatever the fuck this apartment. I don't know, but yeah, like I'm in a. You just go in a circle here. It's like a compound. This reminds me of work. There's just walls everywhere. And you're just stuck in it. Yeah, nothing fancy about this place at all. But if you look just beyond, can you see the water there? Yeah, there's the fucking bay. Like you would think this would be like a pretty cool place.
Yeah,
but yeah, there's the bay right there.
I mean, it's probably windy as hell though.
Oh, guarantee it's windy as hell. Yeah.
If you don't fly kites, maybe it's no good, but I don't know.
I'd fly the shit out of some kites out there. You got a 20. I saw yours, JP. Yours is like somewhat close to mine, I thought. I was flipping through people that were selling theirs, and I just happened to run across yours. My cat just took a shit in the litter box. This smells something fierce.
All right, so I'll share this. This is just a screenshot from my mobile. Like I said, I was just watching. I was just in bed doing some searches. And anyone that's a regular hunter will know roughly what the discovery zone of a treasure hunt is. I'm showing up. I'll just do the whole screen. All right, so I couldn't catch where it showed where the treasure was, like with the arrow, but I can tell you now, and you can see the cursor. Do a little shape, I suppose. The treasure was right here.
Okay.
Make it red for the treasure. I landed here with only seconds to go because I was distracted with watching something. Now, never in a million years would I assume that wouldn't have triggered the treasure. You can see I drifted exactly the wrong direction. That happens. But for that to have not triggered the treasure, to me, is just like especially north-south too, because the discovery zones of a block explorer is longer or further north-south than it is east-west.
How do you know?
It's an oval shape. Well, if you watched Ben's show from way back when, I did a whole segment on it.
I did, but I did not understand what the fuck you were talking about. I watched that, and I was like really curious. I'm like, oh, how do they know? And I watched it, and I was like, I still have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Discovery zone, can you imagine that's the green around my block explorer?
Yeah.
So that would be more, that's not to scale or exact shape or anything like that, but that's kind of what it looks like. If you could have a circle instead of just highlighting the properties that it hits, that's the shape you would see normally on your block explorer. So for it to have not picked up this property, and it's not the only one that's happened. Like, this has happened multiple times now when I've been super close, and I even saw Blue Rain. She was doing a rush just before and was right next to one, and it didn't trigger. I'm almost positive now that they've done something and made treasure hunting even harder yet again. And I mean, again, I wish they would just tell us. I wish they, we've made changes to it or whatever. We've made it longer or smaller or bigger. Or, I don't know. Just if they have changed it, to tell us. But I can just tell you now, from someone that used to do upwards of 100 a day to, granted, I haven't for the last month or so done many, but I'm definitely noticing a difference. It's not because I've lost my skill in the last few weeks. Like, I can still treasure hunt, I can still hit it really quickly. But never in a million years would I expect that to land here and not trigger a treasure there. Like, it's just, especially north-south. Like, if it was that distance but on the side, I'd maybe go, maybe, because we know it's a narrower thingy. So someone mentioned the shape was like an A or something a bit back. Well, as far as I know, babe, it's always been an oval. So, and with the discovery being longer for the north-south, and no, if you spin your little map around, so if you turn your phone around or whatever, it doesn't change. That north-south stays the same no matter which direction you're facing. So what I mean by that is, if you're playing and then you turn your phone this way, it's still this way for the discovery being longer. Well, that didn't work, did it?
No, it did not.
Anyway,
you're just making a mess of it now.
Well, I think you get the picture of it anyway. So, look, I'd love to see if other people are seeing the same thing, or if they're experiencing. And again, like I said, if Upland have done it, Upland have done it. I'm not complaining or bitching about it. I just would like to know, because it makes a difference. If I know I need to be more accurate with my sends, maybe I'll be more accurate. Like, I knew exactly where that send was, but I chose that property that I landed on because it was a 20 UpX property and not 40 like the one where it actually was.
Right.
Which is why I chose that property, and I didn't have much time to go. So once it landed, I didn't have time to ascend a second time because it drifted the wrong way. But I still had like 10 seconds to go, but now on the mobile, you need more than 10 seconds to send, because sometimes it'll trigger as soon as you send it. but sometimes it won't trigger until it lands, and then it starts drifting. Even though you're on the exact property, it'll start drifting, and then like 5 seconds later, go, oh yeah, by the way, you got this treasure. You're like, well, you've only got 10 seconds. It takes 5 seconds to get there, and it drifts. You can miss it, even though you're on the exact property. And it's so frustrating how it's inconsistent there. Like sometimes it'll come up like that. As soon as you hit send, bang, even though you're still halfway across the map, it'll come up and like, yep, you've got this one.
Yeah.
Other times you're right next to it and it lands and you're like, fuck, how have I missed that? And you're like, I'm sure it was there. And then it'll start drifting and all of a sudden it'll pop up and you're like 3, 4, 5 seconds later and you're like, okay then. Better late than never, I guess. But that's a problem when you've only got 2 or 3 seconds to go. So anyway, so if they have made treasure hunting even harder again, that's just another strike against treasure hunting. I think like it's bad enough they took the arrows away, PC away, they've increased the prices.
Maybe they'll just transition it to STEM.
Maybe it's transition it to what? Sorry.
Well, Protum, which will soon be STEM.
Well, we got to get through these 5 seasons of fucking.
Yes.
Have we heard anything about that yet?
It's gonna happen.
I know we had a lot going
tomorrow. We'll hear about it tomorrow.
Well, we didn't hear about Spark Weekend, did we?
No, we didn't. There's never going to be a Spark Weekend again. Why would they do that?
There is, but they're not going to sell it for 3 cents to Sparklet, are they? I'm guessing.
Maybe. They sure can't sell it for $460.
They said they were going to sell it cheaper than what it was going on the open market for when they first announced it all. They reserved the right to sell it at a cheaper price, which obviously they have to be cheaper, otherwise you wouldn't buy it from them. Why would you buy it from them for 5 cents when you go on the market and buy it for 4 cents?
They'll probably sell it for more expensive, and then their pitch will be you don't have to pay gas fees.
Well, that's the caveat, is that if you and it's in the game straight away, you're gonna have to still stake it, but even 30 days is nothing. Like you've got to stake it for 30 days before you can take it out. Big effing deal. It should be like 30 bloody months.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not that long, but it should be a hell of a lot longer than 30 days. But again, that's just me. That's me. But they did say in the initial release of when they first announced it and all that sort of stuff that they did reserve the right to sell it at a slightly cheaper price than the market. Well, we're in a season. It was a weekend.
No.
There might be players waiting to level up that couldn't level up. I don't know. Just saying.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that they didn't do a Spark Weekend.
Yeah, exactly right. The vape's all over it. So, I mean, look, there was a period there, and I think even Lilyfield was one of the players that had to wait months, about a year ago, to level up. She had to wait so effing long, it was ridiculous. Look, she could have leveled up earlier and just got the reward. You can level up anytime. You just get an extra 20% or something like that if you level up like Spark Weekend. That's the only difference. To be honest, now, with Spark the way it is, I'd probably just level up as soon as I can. I wouldn't even give a shit whether it was a weekend or not. Like, I mean, unless you're leveling up to cheap executive level,
do you think that
maybe it's worth it? But sorry,
do you think that level up Spark is going to be part of that Spark earn?
Yeah, of course it is, because there's two Spark. There's bought Spark and there's earned Spark. So whether you earn it through treasure hunting, login bonuses, or anything like that, that's what I'm saying. Every single player in the game
for free.
Every single person that owns Spark has at least had some level of free Spark. I can tell you now that if you're someone like myself that has logged in every single day since they introduced the login bonus, you're probably looking at about 1.5 Spark earned.
Yeah.
Well, you think about it, it's 10 Sparklet every, so that's 500 Sparklet just for a year, and that's if you never get more than the minimum. So, and it's been 2.5 years that I've been in the game. It's pretty much been around, so you're well over a Spark. If you've done it, if you haven't missed a day, and I don't think I have. I know Missus have missed plenty of days.
I think I missed a couple, but I was still at like 1.7. I've never bought Spark, so I got to 1.7 before I went to Genesis Week, and then I got my one Spark for going to Genesis Week. So that like 2.7.
But are you trying to say that even logging in and getting your 0.1 or 0.8 or 10 Sparklet every week, but logging in every single day for a week, isn't as valuable as someone that just went and bought.
Oh no, I think it's more valuable.
Yeah, 100% it
So
is.
dedication.
At very least, it's equal value. And
yeah.
Anyway, look, let's have this argument if and when they ever do drop Event Spark. We can say this for a whole nother day because I know this is going to fire me up big time. Because I expect it's going to be 1-for-1. I think, which isn't horrible, but it's just an absolute kick in the pants if that's true. If that
I'll be so bummed out if it's if I get 1.7, well, 1,700 Sparklet.
You just got your free drop at whole Spark for going to Spark.
Oh yeah, it'd be 2,700 Sparklet. I'll be a pissy little uplander.
It wasn't that long ago you barely had enough. You had two, well, not even 2 Spark, and now you're looking at having over 10. Come on, you're doing all right. But this is part of my point. You've gone from struggling for 2 years to get to 2, and now all of a sudden, like that, you're at 10. And you wonder why the price is tanking.
I don't wonder about shit. I'm fine.
I'm just talking, not you.
I know.
People in general, and I'm not wondering either. I'm just like, sweet, if you want to sell it for under 3 cents, I've still got buy orders. The other day it dipped just very quickly down to I think 3.5 cents. Guess where I had a buy order sitting at? I picked up 5 Spark at 3.5 cents. So, and I've got further buy orders underneath that. So, which obviously didn't get triggered, so I haven't brought them into the game. I thought about buying more, and I was umming and ahhing. I was like, no, fuck it, I'll just leave it sit there. There's no rush. I've already got 40 odd to bring in, so that's enough now.
Yeah, I think you're doing okay.
If for me, like if Sparklet tanks even more, I'm like, happy days. I'll buy some more. Like that's the way, and I'll continue buying it until I stop playing the game, or it goes up ridiculous in price. Yeah, that's vibe. I wouldn't settle for just getting 5,000 because they are going to rejig the amount. So it's 5 Spark to get a factory, and 5 Spark is more than enough to run a small factory or something. But it's not going to stay that way. Now, whether that changes this week, next week, or next month, next year, I don't know. But it's not going to stay at that. So you're going to need more than 5 Spark, and probably, I'd say at least double. I think when they do rejig it, it's going to be at least double what the current values are, and possibly even higher than that, somewhere between double and 4x. It won't be any more than 4x. That's what the drop was, and I don't think it'll be as much as 4x because I don't think the earned Sparklet's going to go up as much. And again, you're just making it harder for new players too. So maybe something between 2 and 3 is probably more accurate. So we'll settle for 2.5 just to be in the middle. So just bear in mind, so if you've got a factory and you're all right to go, happy days. If you haven't, apply now because you only need 5 Spark at the moment. Get your factory license up and going. Obviously, don't worry about whether you've got anything to put in the factory at this stage. And then you're right to go. How long have you got to go in your factory?
I just pulled it at 6 days exactly. And I can't get that.
I want my Spark back.
I want my Spark back. We won't have to wait 6 days. By this time next week, I will have submitted whatever the fuck I have to submit.
Yeah, that'd be a good goal, babe. 20 would be. I think 20 is probably the new 5. That gives you enough to factory, enough to build with, enough to play. Like that'd be the sort of minimum I think most players would want to aim for. And given how much they're giving out over the next few months, the earn Sparklet with all the different. If you get yourself in the competition, make sure you do all the challenges. Is there a leaderboard for the challenges for this season yet?
I have not.
See what you haven't done.
I was hoping there would be because I wanted to look at it. So I'm curious. I know we spent the other night walking around doing some stuff, trying to.
Yeah, tick the holy ball. I can't remember what I did though, so I want to look at the leaderboard so I know what I need to tick off.
Too.
I know we didn't do the track hero because that wasn't working.
Well, we got tonight.
Yeah, maybe afterwards. As long as I'm not giving away $5,000 to, nothing against him, but
yeah.
City Pigeon comes along and steals my $5,000, I'll be dirty.
Yeah. How to BitGet account, how to bridge Sparklet, upline summer games, huge changes, Sparklet Live. That's not what I'm looking for. Sizzle season, new gamified earning missions. I don't think it's going to be up, but let me look in here. Oh wait, there's a leaderboard.
Oh, there is. Well, you can share it and see where we're at. We
Yeah.
can check who's on it and anyone's in stream or whatever.
Let me move this tab over here to this one.
So obviously there's some stuff that we can't take off yet, like 7-day login or the and remember, I know we should all be all over this now, but the 7-day login starts from when you've collected. So if you're halfway through your 7 days login when the season starts, you have to wait till you collect and then your 7-day login starts, which is no big deal because you're going to get there anyway. You just may not get it as early as some other players do. So just don't expect to see it on the 7th of the month because you've done it for 7 days. It doesn't work like that. However, the 30-day one does. Or 25 days or whatever it is.
I think this is the one. All right, so for me, I still obviously need to get my login 25 days, login 7 days.
So you didn't mint
3 properties.
How many did you pick up in Paris?
I only minted 2.
So you need to mint one more. Go to Granada Hills and grab something.
I could, yeah. Well, no, I have the new one I need to go mint. Actually, I need to get like another.
You need some money,
for
like
like 60,000 more upticks so I can go mint one in Paris before. Complete 5 structures. I might be able to get that.
He's a
I will
beast.
be able to get that.
City Pigeon is an absolute beast when it comes to any form of racing, and I do not want to be on the same track as him because I will be just donating.
Right. Okay, let's go back a little bit.
So how many you got? So you've already got your 14.7%.
I burnt 3 items. I bought 3 items. I need to visit some visitor props.
I've done
that.
that.
Sparklet. Haven't done Track Hero. It says I haven't done the airdrop for some reason. I haven't received my badge for tomorrow.
Because you're American. It's blacklisted you.
I know. These motherfuckers.
Wouldn't that be funny?
No, it would not. You want to see a cranky motherfucker.
You can't get 15 out of 15 because you're an American. Whoops.
Yeah, god dang.
But it's an American game.
You're supposed to pander to the Americans. Sizzle season ornament, no, but that's just because it has to be sitting there for 3 weeks.
It's 3 weeks, 21 days, so yeah, it's going to take you a while. There's a lot of yeses already, like just haven't.
Yeah, I'm at a 3 multiplier expected award percentage. My EAP is 14.7.
So you've already achieved that. So worst case scenario, you're going to get your normal earnings.
Yeah. Let's look at Swarly.
Which should be fairly similar, to be fair, because we did them together. So maybe. It's weird how that works, isn't it?
Yeah, very annoying.
Alright, so mint 3 properties, so I've definitely got that over you. I've done my card travel, sweet.
Yeah. Public races, yes. Complete 5 structures, no. What a bum. Burn 3 hours, yes.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that by the end of the season. I mean, I do have 20 sparks sitting in one of your builds, but we won't go there.
Look, you just bring over your other fucking 60,000 spark.
I told you, they're all. I'll show you in a sec where all my spark is. You're going to laugh.
The other day. Or did you buy more then?
Not buy more, but where it all
I mean,
is.
start more builds.
I've started. I wish.
How many pages of builds do you have now?
I wish UPX Exchange was working so I could bring them up there, because that way I can tell you exactly how many. And because it's been down for like 2 weeks now,
right.
Unless there's another way I can look at it, and if anyone knows how I can look at my structures under construction, I'm sure you used to be able to see that in Upix Land as well, but it doesn't show up there anymore. Or I'm looking in the wrong place or something. There's no filter for it. When you put up structures, it only shows the built structures, not the ones under construction.
Yeah, JP, I'll check yours. You haven't got your airdrop either, sucker.
So that's not an American thing. God damn it.
I know.
There must be like a whitelisting they must do at some point during the season. So have I got the burnt one? That's the one I wanted to check because I burnt 3 things.
Yeah, you did.
All right, sweet.
Let me just go double check for you. Burn 3. Oh no, burn 3 items. No, you did not get it.
Well, I have burnt.
Wait,
burnt
no,
the
I'm on GP now. What the hell? I didn't even. Oh,
because you typed it in.
All right,
Now I'm confused.
Yeah, hold on. JP. Let's see here.
Yeah, it does. Well, well, funny you say. I mean, they've been saying that since they first brought it in. They're meant to be in game, and it's meant to be part of the missions where you can just go tick them off there and see what you have and haven't done. I think a lot of people thought it was going to be in game by Genesis Week, and clearly that's not the case.
They said it was going to be in by the last season.
Yes, but you also believed them when they said treasure hunting back on PC soon.
They could tell me that we're going to be able to shit unicorns tomorrow. I'll probably believe that until it doesn't happen.
Yeah, you know what it was like. You're a parent now. When you're a kid, or you might say this to your kids, and they're like, Dad, we haven't had Maccas for fucking ages. When are we going to have Maccas again? And your answer is soon.
My answer
in your head, it's like, you're not getting it. Shut the F up. You're not getting it anytime soon. But the answer to them to shut them up is soon.
What's Maccas?
McDonald's.
Oh, my. News to me, man. I've never heard that term in my life. This is fantastic.
Fair enough.
You call it Maccas?
Yep.
I love that. I'm drinking a Maccas fucking drink right now. I went there on my way home from work. That's awesome.
That's something you say to your kid to shut them up. Yep, soon.
My daughter yesterday, she asked me to do something. I don't know what it was. I go, it was basically just to shut her up. But I go, yeah, we'll probably do that. And she goes, Dad, I know what that means. That means no. No, it's not. That's not what that means. She's like, yeah, every time you say you'll probably do something, you don't ever end up doing it. And so that's basically no. Just tell me no.
Yeah, that's what Mrs. says.
Like,
you want to come shopping with me tonight? And I'm like, maybe. No, okay, I'll go on my own then.
I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll go on my own. Okay. I don't even think about this until the first new month. Well, it's 3x already every time. Yeah, look, to be honest, babe, I stopped caring about this after season 1, especially when they brought in the challenge for new users, because I don't have the reach, and the only people I talk to or interactive with are current players. I don't know anybody in my real life that wants to play. Plenty of people, pretty much everyone at work knows that I play this game. No one gives an F about it, even though I tell them I'm going to pay off my house with it one day. They don't believe me, I think.
Because it's magic internet money.
The only reason why I care about it more this season than any other season, and I don't even know why I should, is because it's also linked to the airdrop. So you may as well try and get as much as you can, because at the end of the day, Sparklet could, if you acquire a decent amount, like it may not make you rich or a millionaire or anything like that, but it could make a decent impact on your life in the future in the next 12, 18 months. You just never know. I mean, if Sparklet was to 100x, just saying. I'm saying it will.
You never know.
It can. There's absolutely no doubt it can. Whether it will or not, we'll never know until after it happens.
Mm-hmm. And then we'll all be driving around in Lamborghinis and shit.
Yeah, well, Uplanders will. And everyone else will be going, God damn it, we should have listened to Elslack and Swally. I should have played that stupid Monopoly game where you turn green squares into blue squares. But
that's my whole goal in life. My whole goal is just to get people to say, damn it, you were right.
Yeah, 100%. Even with crypto. Because I've been into crypto obviously since the last bull run. And people at work, like, they got excited during the last bull run and people wanted to know more about it. And then obviously it went down. No one gives a shit anymore. And every now and again I get the, so how's your crypto going? I'm like, yeah, still there. Like, I don't go into it too much because I know they don't give a shit. I'm not going to waste the next half an hour of my life talking about crypto when they don't care at all. If they cared, they would learn and they would understand what's going on and realize that it's an opportunity. I'm not saying it will, but it's an opportunity for life-changing money. It's better investment, riskier, but better investment than the stock market. Burning stuff is a hard one for you. Well, I went and bought 2 Soccer Legits, and why it had to be Soccer Legits as opposed to just any sort of whatever, I don't know. They cost me 500 UpX each. I'm not sure how. I haven't looked at your account anytime recently, Vape, so I don't know how much 500 UpX is worth to you. Obviously, for me, it's not too much of a big deal. Like I don't like burning 1,000 UpX for no reason, pretty much. But ordinarily, I wouldn't have done it. And don't forget, there'll be some sort of event in the season where you've got to buy something from them for you, and then burn it to exchange it for a pass or something like that. So you don't have to just go and burn shit that you got in your inventory. Like, and one thing I already had in my inventory, I think I already had an F, because you can't use. No, it was the NFL ones, not the soccer ones. So it's the NFL Legits that you can burn. And I had one in my inventory, so I just burnt the one I had. I burnt the season pass. I bought that, so that was one. And then I went and bought another one for 500 UpX. So, look, worst case scenario, you got to buy 3 of them, 1,500 UpX. Yeah, it's not nothing, but...
I fucking hate it. I get too sentimental about the things that I own. And I just like, no, it's mine.
I had to burn 500 UpX. And like I said, I earn... $750,000 a month, so it's not like I can't afford it. But I was like, God damn it, this is just burning it. Like, I don't mind wasting it on something for whatever reason, but just burning it for no reason or almost no reason. It was difficult. But and ordinarily, any other season, I wouldn't have given an F about it, because it doesn't matter if you get 5 or 15 challenge or 12 challenge or whatever it was, you get the same reward. But this season, because you get a different reward multiplier all the way up to 15, even though you might not get 15, because I think unless you're a dodgy person, which I'm not, getting the friend one is going to be really hard to do. So I'm not going to stress about it. I put a Twitter thing together and sent that out there. People like it, but again, only uplanders. You try and go to other platforms where there might be crypto-minded people there, and you go, oh, there's this game, you'll love it, come check it out. But so many people just get pampered with so much spam and just pushing shit that they just block it all out, which I can understand. So even when you come across them with a legitimate project going, come and check this game out, no one's heard of it, but it's better than Decentraland and Sandbox, which you guys all know about, they just don't want to hear about it because they just think you're pushing shit.
They're like, oh, I don't want to hear about your stupid crypto pyramid scheme.
Yeah, you're just shilling some project that's just another scam that's going to suck all that money. And like, everything's a pyramid scheme if you think about it. If you wanted to break everything right down to the last, your house is only worth what someone's willing to buy it. So for it to go up in value, it means someone else is going to come up and buy it for more.
That's my argument about cryptocurrency. When they're like, that's not even real money. And I said, well, neither is real money.
It's more real money than real money.
Yeah.
But the Fed can just keep printing as much as they like, and that doesn't make any difference to the world. Right. Yes, it does.
And like, no, but it's insured by the banks. I'm like, give me a fucking break.
It's not insured by the banks. It's insured by the Fed.
Yeah.
Well, at least in your country. At least in your country, it's insured by the Fed.
I can't take credit for magical internet money. That's from Ben68, just FYI. I just used this term.
Yeah.
So I got to give him all the credit.
Well, I'm sure he got it from somewhere as well. It's not,
well, I just can't say that it's me. I would, trust me, I would love to take credit for that, but that's, it's Ben. That's Ben. And maybe Ben got it somewhere else. I don't know, but I got it from Ben, so.
When you think about it today, fiat currency is mostly. How much do you actually spend money in your hand these days? Like, I've been cash free myself for probably 6-7 years, I think.
I very rarely have cash on me.
I don't carry a wallet anymore. I don't carry cash on me. I don't see the need. And these days everything's in your phone, so my phone's my life. And when I'm at work, I can't have my phone.
Isn't that weird?
We've got vending machines that'll take a card, so you actually got to have a card or cash.
I know I have to carry my wallet on me at work because I'm like, I need something out of this vending machine, and I can't take my phone, and then they won't let me put apps on my work phone because I don't know, they're afraid I'll do something nefarious with it or something.
Well, we don't even have work phones. Like,
I only have one because they trust me for some reason to do fucking managerial things. They let me be a manager. I run a whole unit, and I have employees and all this other crazy shit for some reason.
Some of our bigger bosses will have phones on them, but
Yeah.
that's like, when you start getting higher up. So at our, like, I'm probably like 4 steps away from that. Like, I'm as low as they come at work, and I like it that way, keeping it that way. But yes, some of the management, so the upper management within the workspace would have mobiles, but none of the troops. Like, it's just no.
Yeah, that's me now. I've turned into that guy. I get the phone.
But it's not a work phone. I mean, the bosses will carry their own phone. Like,
I can't bring my work. I can't bring my personal phone in. I can bring my work phone in because there's a difference apparently. I can bring my work phone in, but
you don't have your Facebook and everything on your work phone.
I don't. But I could just go on the browser and look at fucking Facebook if I want to. Or if I want to get on Upland, I can just go on the browser on my phone and do it there. I don't because I have some sort of integrity, but
no. Well, I can't access Upland at all for my work, but anyway. I don't know what that is. It's not blocked, I just can't. At least 5 years cash free for you. Yeah, I said it's been more than that. Long before the pandemic for me. I was cash free long before the pandemic. And to be honest, I haven't lost any money since I went cash free.
I love having cash though. Every so often, somehow I find a way to get cash, and I'm just like, oh man, I have a hard time spending it because I'm like, what if I need this for something?
I was at some event one time. No, I was at a pub. I was just having some drinks with some people, and I was going up there and buying a drink every time I wanted a drink. Just went up there and bought, whatever it cost, a couple of bucks for another beer or something at a time. So I probably had 3 or 4 beers, and then they're like, oh, let's grab some dinner. No drama. So there's like a separate business, but within the pub at the same venue. And I'm like, all right, let's go grab a steak or something for dinner. So we go out. So it's inside the pub still. So we go over to there and order a thing, and they go, yep, that's like $20, and I'm like, okay, no dramas. Get my phone out to pay for it. Oh no, we're cash only here. We're in the middle of a town, inside of a pub, in 2020, whatever 3 or whatever it was at the time, and you're cash only. And my mate says, that's all right. I'll split you the cash, and you can fix it out later. I'm like, no, this is the principle. Get with the bloody times. I turned and walked away. I was like, no, I'll go hungry before I like, I'm so anti-cash these days.
That happened to me not too long. I went to a rodeo not too long ago, and this is a very popular rodeo. It's like one of the bigger ones in the nation, whatever. So it just happens to be in this podunk town. So I went out there, and I went to go get some elephant ears for my kids or something at one of the booths. And I pull up my card. She's like, oh, no, sorry, we're cash only. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Every one of these places takes a card except for you. And they're like, no, I'm sorry, we're cash only. There's an ATM right over there. I go fuck yourself.
Yeah, that'd be tax dodge on their behalf.
Yeah, that I was so pissed.
It's probably the only negative with crypto is, like, if
a pack.
Like, say your kid wants to go mow your neighbour's lawn for $10 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if we're in a cashless society, even like a crypto society, you have to transfer $10. And let's face it, it'll get easier and easier to transfer. It'll get to the point where your phones will just touch each other and you'll transfer $10 worth of credit over or something. Pretty much. Yeah, but still, all of that will still be electronic and traceable as opposed to just handing over $10. But getting ready for a family trip at least.
Where are you going?
At least I don't got to stress. Look, I'm getting married later this year to my missus, and her one demand for the wedding day, get this, is that I don't treasure hunt on my wedding day.
Oh my god!
This was from earlier in the year, because obviously I'd gone 2.5 years with pretty much not missing a day of treasure hunting. So, and even if I didn't get like a full day's worth in, I'd get like a decent amount in still. So her request was like, on the wedding day, you're not touching Upland, full stop, end of story. And I'm like, we'll just see when it gets there. We'll cross that. I wasn't committing to a yes. I'm at the moment going days without treasure hunting. It's got nothing to do with any wedding. I just don't care anymore. I seriously, like, I sat at the couch last night just watching telly with the missus, and I did like 5 hunts, and I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I ended up chatting to Toss and a couple of other people about different things instead of treasure hunting, and just was not interested in it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What month are you getting married in?
November.
Okay. When it's warm.
Yeah, it'd probably be hot, to be honest. It's being out in the country too, so I mean, it could be anything from, I know, different scales, but in our, I don't know the scale. I know it's 33 and yours is 0 for us, but outside of that, I'm screwed. But it could be anything from a cold, cool day, because it's so hard to predict over in the country, to like 40 degrees, or for you probably it was at 100. And it's not even summer yet, so it could just, whether you need jumpers or whether you need, some sort of sun protection, you don't know. It can be a bit volatile at that time of the year, and then it
Are you going to get married outside?
Yeah, we're just in the local town. Like, we've both been married before, so it's no big deal. So it's nothing fancy. Like, it's very, very small. Excuse me. And it's a town. Neither of us grew up in this town or anything like that. Obviously, she's English, so she grew up in a different country. It's just what it is. Is what it is. So we just found a nice little park or something in the town, and then the town we have has a zoo in it. It's not like a normal zoo. It is a normal zoo, but it's not at the same time. So she loves the zoo, so we're going to have the reception at the zoo.
That sounds nice.
They've got a whole what do you call it, hospitality area there where you can just in the middle of the zoo, so to speak. Not in the middle of it, but yeah, in the zoo, so you can look out and still see some animals and stuff roaming around. So,
this is a weird question. So talking about zoos, so where I live on the coast, our zoos are if I was to go see like a giraffe or a zebra or something, I'd be pretty stoked, right? I'm like, that's awesome. Obviously we have like otters and like seals and sea lions and shit here, and some people get really, really excited about those things. I went to Fresno, and I went to the Fresno Zoo there, and the things that people were getting so fucking crazy about were all this really basic shit that we have like on the Oregon coast that I could go see any day of the week, just going home, right? And in Fresno, they're just fucking jacked. Like, oh my god, look at this cute little otter. I'm like, that thing is not cute. Look at this cute sea lion. No, that's cute. It's like salmon. I want to kill that thing right now.
That happens too. That happens over here. Like, we have like further out west you go in the country, the more things like kangaroos are just, I wouldn't say they're a plague, but they're everywhere, especially at night time. They're a danger for the road, stuff like that. But you get your city friends that'll come out, they've never been in the country for age or whatever, and they're like, so our kangaroos just roaming around, or like, what's the story? And so even Australians don't realise how much wildlife is out when they get out of the city and out of the suburban area and stuff like that, and just start seeing, because you just don't get the wildlife obviously in the city, because then whatever's been not killed works out to stay away. But
right,
as soon as you get in that country, I mean, we've got emus. Goats are no big deal, but goats everywhere.
Emus just roaming around?
Yeah, emus, kangaroos, just we can have sheep, cows, like any day. These are all animals I've come across in my 45-minute drive to work.
So you have cows, just wild cows?
No. It's usually because they've escaped from some farmers.
Okay, I was going to say, I've never heard of a wild cow before.
No, same as sheep. Usually they're within but fences sometimes break.
Yeah.
But they do what they, and I assume they do the same over there when feed gets a bit tight, is they'll herd them all together and walk down the road and have the cattle and stuff feeding off the side of the road when the feed's a bit short, like if it's been a bit dry or something like that. So they'll stick up a sign, and then it'll be like, you come around a corner, it's like 1,000 cows on the road, and you're like, oh, okay, I'll just slow down because I'm not winning this battle. I might take one or two out, but I'm not getting through 1,000. Sounds like kangaroos are like deers. Look, I don't know what deers are like. I do know that you'll be driving along in the middle of nowhere at night time, minding your own business, and there'll be a kangaroo off 10, 20 meters to the side of the road, and you're like, sweet, just stay there, dude, and we'll both be friends. Next thing you know, it just jumps in your path. Like, it's seemingly one bounce bang in your path, brights your car off, and just like, it's dead, of course, but you're like, oh, If you weren't dead, I'd back over you and make sure you were. Like they F your car up. They're just
That's kind of like deer then, because deer, you're just driving along and you see the glowing eyes, and you're like, hey, look, there's a deer. Just stay the fuck there. And then the light, like a headlight gets on them, and they don't know what to do, and all of a sudden they just dart in front of your car. You're like, God dang it! Now you got a fucking dead deer and a messed up car. Sounds just like a damn kangaroo. Yeah, it's annoying. I mean, if you watch my videos at least 2 times driving to work, I'm like, oh shit, there's fucking deer just jumped out in front of me. Stupid ass animals, especially the baby ones. Man, they're dumber than shit.
Googling it. Looks like it's more common than I realized, but I saw you get those like get well soon balloons that you give someone that's in hospital.
Yeah.
But typical Australian humour or whatever, they'll tie one of those to a dead kangaroo on the side of the road. Just
That's pretty funny. I see dead deer all over. Do you guys hunt kangaroo? Is that a thing?
You need to be licensed. They're not protected, but at the same time, you can't just freely hunt them. Even if you're a farmer or someone that has a firearm, you're not allowed to just go shooting because you can. You've got to be licensed, and we do.
It's sport though. People hunt kangaroo.
Kangaroo isn't a common food here. It is a food that you can buy in the supermarket. Like instead of getting a cow, like a bit of steak or something like that, you can get kangaroo meat. I've only ever had it once. I don't know, just something about it just doesn't seem right to me to eat it. But so there is a lot of, not so much culling of kangaroos, but harvesting of, I don't know what the right word is, of kangaroos for both pet food as well as human consumption.
I want some kangaroo bacon. That sounds. I wonder if that would be any good.
I have no idea. I know there's definitely delicacies that will sell stuff like that, same as emu and other different things.
Mm-hmm.
For us, that's our coat of arms. I just can't do it. I can't eat the coat of arms.
That's fair. I mean, I can't even, if I couldn't even shoot, I can't even pick up a bald eagle feather. That is illegal. You can't own them.
Oh, really?
No, you can. If you see a bald eagle feather, you gotta leave it the fuck alone.
Are they endangered or anything like that, or just
yeah?
They are endangered
and protected. They're our nation's fucking bird. So.
I know you. Yeah, I know that, but I don't know. But if there's like 8 of them around, or 8 billion.
No, I mean, well, where I grew up, we'd see them all the time. There was actually a bald eagle nest on top of my school, so I saw it all the time. You see them flying around out here. It's not super prevalent, but at least where I live, I see them probably a lot more than I would say most people do.
Because you're more country, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's like kangaroos. There'd be people that live in the city, like in Sydney or Melbourne or something, would never seen a kangaroo other than a zoo, like where this conversation started.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't go out in the country, we'll never see one, especially at night time in the country, with kangaroos. So, yeah, I know what you're saying, but kangaroos aren't endangered here. They're everywhere, especially the drier it gets, the worse they become because they go looking for feed in places they don't try and hang out normally. So, right. Edge of the road. Kangaroo on the edge of the road, you just got to assume that sucker's going to jump in front of you because they just do. If you see
how many kangaroo have you hit in your life?
3, I think.
Damn.
And that'd be low, especially when you're driving like we do, country roads to work 6 in the morning, so it's dark. 6 at night, especially in winter, it's dark coming home as well. There'll be people. I mean, pretty much everybody's got like a 4-wheel drive type vehicle with a big ass, bull bar on the front to just try and protect their car, which most of the time will probably cause that worst minimal damage to their car. But and they figure that like it might cost X amount of dollars to get a bull bar, but once you've hit more than 2 roos, it pays itself because you don't have to claim your insurance. And
so it's pretty common to hit a kangaroo. Everybody's probably got a kangaroo hitting story.
From the country, yeah, probably.
Yeah. You see, that's more prevalent than it is for deer here. Like, I grew up in the country, my whole life, and I've yet to hit a deer. I've been very close several times. my friends, I got plenty of friends who've hit deer or have deer hit them, but
I've even hit an emu.
you hit an emu too?
Mm.
Wow.
Not as bad as a kangaroo, but they can still do some damage. I mean, they're
Yeah.
still pretty big birds.
Yeah, they
But
are.
again, just running at, because they run like 50, 60 kilometers an hour. They're not slow, those things.
No.
And I was just driving on a highway doing 110 kilometers. So I don't know what that is in miles. And, you know, I just came out of the bushes from one side, was just crossing the road, and just could not have timed it any worse if I tried. And just absolutely screwed up one corner of my car and ruined the rest of its life.
It's so funny hearing that because I just cannot imagine. Look, emus here are just something you see like in a zoo or at some like exotic, some farm or something. Somebody's raising emus. You definitely would never see a wild emu ever. And if I did, I would probably shit my pants a little bit, especially if one is just fucking coming out the bushes. I was probably like, what the fuck is going on here?
Definitely not as common or as problematic for the road users as kangaroos are, but you do see them.
Damn. Yeah, I worry about cats and dogs and deer, and
in the city, yeah.
That's about it. Well, you know, I've hit plenty of cats in the country, plenty of them. Sometimes rabbits will jump out at you, but they're little.
So I'd say fox. Well, you might get the fox.
Yeah,
a couple of years ago, we had a mice plague because there was a drought followed by an I don't know what causes the plague, but anyway, we had a mice plague. So literally, there were problems everywhere, just mice getting in everywhere and just all over the place. And you drive along the road, and the road would be like a dark grey colour, but there'll be like lots of light grey patches all over the road, and it's dead mice that people have just been running over. Obviously, they don't cause any damage to your car,
right?
But they were that thick with mice that you just couldn't help but run over probably 1,000 of them on the way to work.
That happened to me. I had like a frog. I don't know what you call a gaggle of frogs, but I don't even remember where I was at. But I was driving along with my buddies, and all of a sudden we're like, "What the fuck is that in the middle of the road?" But it was like couldn't necessarily slow down fast enough, and so I just ran over what ended up being just a fuck ton of frogs. Must have killed like 200 or 300 of those sons of bitches.
You know, like this, a group of frogs is called an army, but can also be called a colony of choruses.
Well, I killed an army of frogs, a small army.
And just like normal, the U.S. military destroyed them.
Yeah. It was weird. It was one of the weirdest things. Sometimes we see turtles. I've almost hit a couple turtles. But I'll stop. I'll fucking full on stop my car, get out, and pick a turtle up just to put it in safety. I've done it twice.
Actually, I've seen echidnas crossing the road.
A what?
Like echidna.
What is that?
I don't know how to describe it. It's an Australian animal, obviously.
Echidna?
I'm trying to think. How do I describe it? It's like a possum with spikes on its back, I guess. I don't know.
Echidna.
Yeah, Google that shit. If they didn't have spikes that could kill you on its back, they'd probably be cute. But yeah, they can.
Like a porcupine.
Yeah, same thing.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen them crossing the road. They can stuff your car up too. Obviously, you've killed them.
I've seen a couple of those. Huh. Yeah, it's just a porcupine. Well, I mean, I'm sure that there's something different about them, but.
And you go up to Ben's neck of the woods up in Queensland Way, and they've got problems up there with cane toads, introduced animal into the country, brought in to deal. They were brought in to deal with some like insect pests, and they dealt with that, but then they turned into a plague themselves. They've got no natural predator up there, so they're just spreading. They've been spreading for, I don't know, 50, 60, 70, 100 years. I don't know what it is, but
those are the ones that eat like mice and shit, right?
They exclude what's the right word? Poison out of their back. So yeah, they'll kill you. Like your dog will attack it and die.
Really?
Yeah, because they're.
What
I'm trying to spit out, poison comes out of the back of their neck or head or some shit.
Yeah, they secrete it
secreta. That's the word I was trying to think. Yeah, they're nasty. So it's like we've got a fish called carp in our rivers. Again, another introduced species, and it's illegal to throw that back in. If you're fishing and you pull out a carp, even though you don't want it because it's not good eating fish or anything, it might be right for pet food, but that's about it.
A goldfish.
Or fertilizer, it's not bad for too. But yeah, it's illegal to throw it back in.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that happens out here too. Like people will get goldfish, which is another form of carp, and then they won't know what to do with it, so they'll just take it to like the pond or the river and they'll toss it in there, and then before you know it, you have this fucking mass amounts of huge ass goldfish because they breed like crazy, and then they become super invasive and fuck your shit up.
Anyway, let's get back onto upland. I was going to ask you. You missed most of the release, didn't you? I was going to say I had the release go for you, but you were working.
Yeah, I tried to do the pre-release thing, and I had a meeting that I had to go to, so I couldn't get out of that to go to my car to try to log in to buy one of those properties. And then the next day, what happened that day? Maybe that was the day I had a meeting, and I couldn't get out of it to go mint. And then the day before that was, I don't know, maybe I was driving to work and I was late. I don't fucking know, but I forgot to do it. So yeah, I really didn't get into the action until I got off of work at like 6 o'clock that night. And then I just found a couple of properties and minted two that were just around.
Anything decent worth going after is already gone.
Yeah.
So I mean, you read the same release that the rest of us read. So the first line being, was this more accessible release for you?
No.
Would you say it was?
No, it was exactly the same. It's still a pain in my ass.
Exactly the same or worse?
I mean, it's no worse. I mean, for me, it's all the same.
Assuming you wanted to be involved in every part of the release, because they now spread it over 2 days. So I
would say it would have been more accessible for me just because it gives me 2 opportunities to have a shot at getting property, whereas before it'd only be 1. And so if I missed the one day, I just am shit out of luck. But at least in this instance, I could have the day before.
I find that a cop out, but you can go mint something now. You don't need an opportunity to buy a property. Like
you don't. But
the 99% of a city mint is to get those speculation collection properties off the bat.
Yeah.
Like outside of that, you can go and mint. Like you can go and mint properties still in Queens. And Queens was what 2.5-3 years ago.
Yeah, but there's nothing exciting about that, Swarley. There's no. I already know everything that's going on.
Granted, there's still collections to be revealed, and who knows? You bought a collection with the properties that you bought, and that side of things is kind of interesting, and I don't mind that. But overall, as a player, like if I'm talking just myself, I hate the fact that collections now are just, because that used to be the bit I'd go for. That was the bit that interests me as a player, and I'm like, okay, well now there's no collection reveal next week. I have to wait till they're all minted, and so for me as a more established player, I'm like, okay, well to me it sucks now. But taking that hat off for a second, just looking from the overall point of view, and I know players are out there trying to work out what might still be a collection. They're doing the numbers and going, well, X amount's been released, so there's still so many to go. Whether Upland have told us the exact number or not is arguable. I think people believe they have. I think they said it was 14, and I think there's been 8 announced or whatever, so maybe there's 6 to go.
9 or something.
Give or take. Yeah. So from a Upland point of view, and I've not got into any of that speculation, I just could not care in the slightest, but for people that do care and trying to figure out and trying to snabble up stuff and whatnot, like I can see how that's way more exciting, more engaging from that point of view. So I'm not against it, even though personally I hate it. But as far as
I think it's better for the game of Upland.
So if we get past this, which this is a bit, again, it comes down to all the wording and stuff, but they're making this more accessible, different opportunity. Like the buy beforehand, like the day before, isn't more accessible for anybody, I don't think. Like even someone like yourself at work, you've got to get yourself free at work at 9 a.m. to see.
But I get 2 opportunities to get free for 2 different days.
Yeah, but buying a single property the day before isn't the same as a mint, is it? Like,
no.
I will admit,
it was like, look, it's a minute difference, right? Like, at the end of the day, it didn't draw me enough to make sure that I absolutely got it done. So did I have a little bit more of an opportunity to mint? Yeah. But
what makes it more
was
accessible?
it massively significant? No, not at all.
Something they introduced six releases ago made it more accessible, I guess. Is those city passes? If you wanted a property, you just grab one of those, and then you've got 3 days.
I love that idea.
Or even with even with a Google Map, you still can't find it apparently.
Just with my fucking shit luck, I get a 300,000 UpX property, and in this case, a 70,000 UpX property. I probably can't buy.
Anyway, again, I don't think I've ever been allocated something that's a collection or something good in those sort of things, which is why I just don't bother anymore.
The only good thing I've ever gotten is this GetBit property. That's the best thing I've ever just been allocated.
And you didn't think you were going to get that at first?
Didn't think.
So it was all there in front of us. Anyway, I bought 3. Actually, I was probably most annoyed, and when I say most annoyed, not unexpectedly, and I even called this before it happened, because I bought the property the night before. I had to get up at 2 a.m. Actually, I was already up. I'll be honest.
You were probably blendering.
I was blendering, yes. So I had to wait till 2 a.m. to find out that I was, for all 4 lists, I was 1,300th or worse in line for all 4.
Oh, that's what happened. I was way too deep into the queue. That's why I didn't get the original ones.
So, and again, you just know full well that multiple people are up the head of the queue for multiple different things at once, which I have a problem. There should be one queue for all 4 things. You get to the front of the queue, you pick your one, and fuck off to the back of the queue. If you want a second one, well, when you get back to the front again, then you might have a second crack. But you choose your one thing. If something sells out, well, then you've got choice of 3 others left or whatever. Anyway, that's another whole thing. I mean, we can argue about these sales and how they do them, and again, split them into 3 different sections. Like, divide everything up into 3 and have 3 different time zones. Like, it's not fucking rocket science. It's not hard. Even the devs at Upland, I'm sure, could figure out how to do that without too much hassle. Yes, it probably means that someone needs to be awake in the office at a certain time outside their hours. So maybe that's maybe that's the but I don't know. Look, maybe that's the bottleneck and the problem of trying to make it more. To me, that's what makes it more accessible, and it's not from a point of view of because for me it's 2 a.m. I have to get up at 2 a.m. Like, to be honest, I'd probably, and I've heard Americans say it all the time, like, I'd rather it be 2 a.m. because then I know I'm not at work. I only do night shifts, so it doesn't necessarily work for me to say that, because sometimes I am at work. But I do have the freedom of choosing when I do and don't work. So if I ever want to be part of a city release, guess what? I'm not working that night. I just won't answer the phone and I won't go in.
No reason that they can't do it like, say, noon or 1 or 2 o'clock PT.
In terms of the city release, there's always going to be a problem, because you're going to have one time for the whole world. And as we've established with this show, you can't get, we can't get Europeans on because it's just the wrong time of the day. In fact, even the East Coast for you guys, it's just the wrong time of the day. Right. So you cannot get a time zone that's going to make everybody happy. And okay, that's fine. But for a sale, when you're selling the same shit, like 200 or 500 of them, you can split them up into 3 or 4 different groups, or even different packages, and have different packages sold at different times.
Yeah, it's not like
different ways to make it more accessible, as opposed to having, we're going to make this more accessible. Guess what? The sale's at the same exact time as every other sale is, at an American time that suits Americans. Well, maybe not so much, because your East Coast is at lunchtime and you're just starting your work day. So is it even really suitable for Americans? Like, it seems like the Europeans get the best of it when it comes to these sales, because it's their evening, depending on exactly where in Europe they are. But I don't think any of this is more accessible, and that's the biggest problem I had with it. Again, Upland's language and how they communicate things. I don't think it was more accessible. And in fact, I think, if anything, if you wanted to be part of this release from start to finish, it was harder. There was more requirements. The sale is not more accessible than knowing the city launch time is at 2 a.m. Right, get up at 2 a.m. I know it's going to kick off in 2 minutes. Away we go. But when you get a sale, you get up at 2 a.m., look at the thing, I've got an hour and a half wait. Like, how is that fun? For any,
I mean, not for you. I mean, for me, I'm already awake. I'm already up doing shit. So
Yeah, so you got to set a timer or something. All right, come back an hour and a half time and see if there's anything left. I literally most of them were sold out, and I bought the medium sized property, and I was down to single figures when I got my green light to buy.
mm,
I will bet my left leg that there were players that already queued up and rebought a second package before I got my first.
oh, for sure.
So, again, this whole sales system to me is, if they want to change something up, don't change up the release. I haven't got a huge issue with it personally. I think the sales system is what they need to change and fix. As far as Notre Dame being not a collection,
Yeah, that's a surprise.
well, not really, because I think every city, I think the people argue that a certain collection should have been or something like that. I know people are blowing up with London big time. What was and wasn't a collection, saying Abbey Road shouldn't have been a collection because it's only famous for the photo and of the Beatles, and that's it. I don't know. I was lucky enough to get Abbey Road, so I wasn't complaining. But Notre Dame was like, when you look at the speculation and like the Assassins had that as their number one choice. The property I bought was right next door to, like, literally it was right on the border of Notre Dame. So all I had to do was cross the border, and I was in Notre Dame. So I was like, I said to Ben half an hour, because he had got up and did the live stream. I said to Ben half an hour before, this is going to be a big mistake. I can feel it already, but I'm going to see if I can mint a bunch of Notre Dame. As it turned out, I got 2. It literally minted out in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So second one was like literally one of the last properties available, because obviously there were so many people there. You could get one straight off the bat, and then pretty much, so everybody that was there got one straight off the bat, and then a few people got a second one type thing. I don't think too many people would have got 3 or more. There were properties already minted in there, so obviously people could send there relatively easy, or really easy. But I said to him, like, and the 2 reasons that made me think it wasn't going to be a collection. One was because there were properties already minted in there. Oh, sorry, there's 3 reasons. That was a minor one, because obviously you could be allocated a collection property. It was not impossible to happen.
Yeah.
So that was one. 2 was there were a lot of gaps in the properties there, so there could just be gaps in general. But in my experience, and this is why I see city releases now with all these reserved properties for the pass holders, is they're the gaps in the cities. And generally speaking, whilst yes, there's 15% chance you'll get a collection property with one of those passes, there's an 85% chance you won't. And when you see a bunch of gaps in one little area, chances are it's not going to be a collection. I was looking at Notre Dame and going, there's too many gaps for my liking, but I don't know. There could be just vacant areas or non-properties there. You don't know for sure. You're just sort of looking at it and getting a feel for it. I thought the same thing about downtown with Washington. So I looked at that and just went, I don't like the chances of this being a collection. And number 3 was, Upland are very famous for whatever you think is the most likely outcome, and just going, nope.
That's how I felt like when I went to Berlin. I was very excited because I was like, oh, I think the Berlin Wall is going to be a collection. And so I went hard on the Berlin Wall, and it was not a collection, and I was all butthurt because I thought I was a cool guy, and I thought I was thinking way ahead, and then turns out I'm just a big dum-dum.
No, I was lucky enough. This is the first time ever I was in Berlin release. I was over whatever that smallest little neighborhood was in Berlin. I was right over the top of that at release time. I'm like, this has never happened to me before. Literally, there's maybe 100 properties, like little tiny pocket. And I was like, I'm going to get what I can in here. I was right over the top, bought 4 of the properties. Nada. Not a thing, not a collection, full stop. And I went, yeah, that figures. Normally those little ones are, and it sold out really quickly, but normally those little ones are what people, and I was like, I just have no luck when it comes to collection speculation. The only time I've ever been lucky.
Oh, me neither.
The Dallas and Arlington release. Radished did a speculation video saying that a certain street was a good chance in Dallas. So I went, all right, as good as reason as any. So I picked up 3 Swiss Street properties. So that was my first ever minted red collection. And then I was so I actually had a mate that used to play. He doesn't play anymore, so his account's just drifting and dying, which is a shame because it's worth a couple of grand. But he started over at Arlington, so I jumped on the train after I was minting there and went over to Arlington. And I'd earlier Googled just famous streets in Arlington, and Cooper Street two streets came up, but Cooper Street was one of them, which is the one that runs down the left-hand side of the border there of Arlington. So I went, well, I'll buy a couple in Arlington, may as well make it on Cooper Street, see what happens. And that turned out to be an orange collection. So that was my first red and orange collection in the same night. So I was like, happy day. So that's obviously going back a little bit now. Outside of that, I don't think I've had much luck in terms of collections other than buying stuff that I know is already a collection, either in the secondary market or going somewhere that there's still, I mean, even now you can still go buy collections in Bermuda. So why would I spend $2 million speculating in Paris when I can go get a collection in Bermuda?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think I've only hit one collection property. Well, no, I've hit small collection, but I hit a red one. I hit a red collection property in London totally by accident. And then my dumbass forgot to take it off sale and sold it for way too cheap.
You'll learn that lesson once.
Yep. It took me one time. But even still, I didn't really even know. I still barely knew what I was doing then. I mean, I still made a profit, like a big profit on it, but it just was nothing compared to what it could have been, especially when London came out. It was hot. And
London was a treasure hunting paradise, same as Tokyo. Top reward, tiny little city. And even by this time I built up a pretty good web in Queens of well over 1,000 properties, and I was looking at those two cities when they first came out, going, "Oh, this is interesting." I was tempted. There was two main reasons why I'd never bit the bullet and changed over to those two cities. One was we knew with both of those two cities that they were going to get expanded sometime in the future. As it turned out, London was expanded 3 times very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first thing, is that unknown of and what's the point? Every time London expands, you've now got to expand your web as well. It's not like you've got a choice because you need that properties for your web. So, but especially Tokyo, the treasure hunting before it expanded once must have been amazing for the people that did it. I probably could have. I had a number of properties. There would have been a lot of holes for me, but I was just like, I've got a good web in Queens. I've got a send ratio of well under 1. Why would I mess that up? I mean, and when it comes down to time, it comes down to time. Like even with me transferring to Washington, the time I spend to find a treasure is probably halved, just because it's a much smaller.
Mm-hmm.
My rewards aren't any better. I'm not getting better rewards because I'm in Washington as opposed to Queen, but the time that it takes to get things done is probably under half. And if I ever got the PC hunting back, I'd probably be looking at doing 80 sends or 80 treasures in a day in 2 hours or less. But just because you can do it so quickly there in Queens, because it's so much bigger. So right. I never bit the bullet and went to those two cities purely because of the unknown with those expansions. And the other reason was because of the cost. They cost so much more to be buying properties over there in those two cities as opposed to Queens. So to set up, and as same with Washington, there's so much more to set up a new city. I've probably pumped in best part of 5 million UPEX into Washington just to set up the web that I've got, which I'm fine with.
For nothing.
I will still look, as long as I play this game, I'll still casually treasure hunt.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm sitting around just watching telly, I might do 5, 10. I won't be stupid. I'll just do the few here and there, and that'll be about it. And if I get a 5,000 UPEX or a Spark Shares, happy days. But I really don't care. I'm just, I'm going to do a few. I'm never, the day of me doing 100 in a day, I think are long gone. There'd have to be some huge changes to treasure hunting to try and entice me back into that. I don't know what that would be. Honestly, I couldn't even speculate what would get me back in there. No. Because
not even if they were giving out Protum or STEM or whatever.
Protum will be on the market, same as... We shall see. We'll see. Yes. To be honest, Wolf, and the main reason I say this is because I'm so into Blender now that to be honest, my spare time is, I love just creating in Blender. It's just so much fun. Even if I'm not making money or anything from it, I'm just doing it for the fun of it. Just to look at something and just look at the challenges of how to create it. And I wish I could show you some of the work I've done. Some of it's not mine. One's for Elslake, one's for... hopefully they come out sooner, but with James UK and a few other people. Some stuff I've got stuff submitted now. I think the best part of 2 months. Still waiting to hear from.
I can't wait for some of that stuff to come through. If some of that stuff comes through, I think that's gonna be big time.
But I look back at my first initial bills now, even, and I look at it and go, okay, I'm not going to touch it or do anything because for all I know, they get approved tomorrow. But I'm like, I don't want to touch it or do anything or say anything. But if they get rejected, I won't be too dirty because now I can fix them up and make them better.
Right.
Like, even though I've only been blendering for a month or two, like, I can even look back at my work now, even from a month ago. And I'm sure this will be even worse again in 12 months' time. I look back and go, man, that was shit. And a clarification of that is you look at some other people's work, like Tosshead's Volcano stuff, and for this current season, and some of the work out there is just amazing. And I know I'm not near those standards yet, but I'll get there. So at some point when I do get there, I'll look back at what I've done now and just gone, yep, that'll be a season. That'll be burned for the next season.
You ever look at like so at work, like I look at some of the reports. We used to have to save all of our reports, and so I've looked at some old reports that I'd written because they're saved in this database, and sometimes I have to look them up.
Oh, your older ones, and you look at
my
your
older
older
ones. I'm like, oh my god, how the fuck did I write like that? Like, oh no, it's cringy just looking at some of my old reports.
When you're in the police, nothing gets deleted, so every single
That's how
report that you've done is there forever. Mm-hmm. So you look at some of the stuff you did back when you first started, and then you're just like, how have I still got a job?
I know. I think the same thing. Like, I shouldn't be getting anything.
And you're like, obviously you still got a job because you improve over time and get better. Mm-hmm. That would piss you off, but yeah, it's the same, and I think that's true for any job anywhere. Just sometimes you don't always have those records that show something you can look back on and see exactly how much you've improved at your job or whatever it is that you're doing. Look,
every so often I'll find one. I'm like, damn, I actually wrote that one really well.
I'm just really bummed because I did put down for a bunch of the things like the structural ornaments that I've got. They was submitted a month and a half ago, and I had put in there, and not because Sizzle Season was coming up. I just picked Sizzle Season because there was no time of the year that really suited, and I figured Sizzle Season had the least amount of ornaments available. And even if they got put in and approved before the season started, I wouldn't have had enough time to manufacture that many anyway. But I'm just bummed that, there's literally so few Sizzle Season ornaments, although when's that sale happening anyway? Is that tonight?
I think so.
Can you register yet? Oh, you can't even register yet.
I don't know.
They must be registering tomorrow, and then anyway, so Upland will sell their ornaments for like stupid amounts of USD, which I know I don't need to get up at 2 a.m. I can wake up at 7 in the morning and there'll still be some left. Although they did look pretty good.
I don't think it matters what size factory you get for structural ornaments, as long as you have one. You just need the size properly to hold the thing.
If I understand this correctly, James, and I'm certainly no expert, because whilst I have some factories and I have some stuff submitted and I have this and that and everything else, what I don't have is anything approved in a factory being produced. But if I do understand this correctly, there's a limit to how much spark you can submit to a factory. And as a result, so if something takes 10 spark hours and you can submit 10 spark to it, then you're going to pump one out every hour. Where a small factory might only have a maximum you can submit. I don't know what the numbers are, so definitely don't quote me on this, but let's say the small factory can only stake 3, even though they say you need 5. I think it's actually less than 5 that you can stake. So if you need 10 spark hours, it means the best you can do is pump out one every 3 hours. Where a large factory might have, I think the maximum is like 20 or 20 something. So therefore you could pump one out every 30 minutes. So that's the difference between the different size factories. So a small factory is better than nothing. It's a starting step, so to speak. But my ornament factory, I've got a larger one getting built at the moment. I've got a medium one ready to go, which is where everything's set to. Look, a medium I think would be more than enough for most people. And you've got to think too that if you're pumping something out like every hour, every half an hour, you've got to then move that and price it and stuff. And if you don't know what that's like, That can be a pain in the ass and all on its own. You think treasure hunting's boring? Try just moving map assets and stuff, or little fucking boxes for hours at a time, which you want to do because if you don't, you can't sell them. But when you've got hundreds of them and you can only move them one at a time, and if you know what it's like to move one map asset at a time, it don't get easy when you've got 100 of them.
Swarley, can we transition to something that I fucked up on earlier?
Can.
Okay. So What?
It's your show.
It's our show.
Well, our show on your channel.
Yeah, there's that. So I had put out a video earlier that obviously didn't have any sound, as I found out the hard way.
Yes. Quality content, I thought.
Yeah. I went silent for a little bit, for about 13 minutes or so.
You never made more sense.
It's probably my wife's favorite video ever. She's like, man, you didn't say one word. It was awesome.
You could clearly see you're talking.
Yeah.
About what? We'll never know.
Yeah. You'll never know. Unless you're really good lip
Maybe that could be a competition. Tell me what I was talking about and I'll give you a prize.
Oh, man, you know what it should do? Is you ever seen those bad lip reading videos? That shit's fucking hilarious. If somebody did that, I don't know what I would do. I would be very pleased if somebody did a bad lip reading video. That would make me happy. But anyway, I want to just go over this.
So we're redoing your video from this morning.
What?
So we're redoing your video from this morning.
Kind of, except you're going to be here to do it with me.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, let me share real quick because I don't want to forget to do this. And while there's some people here. What is this one? Oh, that's not going to work. That's not what I want. It looks like that's what I want, but trust me when I say it's not what I need. This up. Come on. Look at me. I thought I was prepared. I'm a liar. Here it is. Go to the other screen. Okay, perfect. Sorry, I gotta move this off. Okay. Present. Share screen. Window. So, Vulgar Speedway competition. I'm not going to do the whole spiel, but I'm going to go over this. So today, what's left of today, for me, August 5th, this thing is kicking off. I posted a little something about this in Upland on my feed. I did this on X, and did I put it somewhere else? I might have put it somewhere else. I don't know. Oh, and in Discord, a couple different places in Discord. You can find it on Metaverse Melons and on the Discord server under promotions. I don't remember. I put it in one of them. I can't recall off the top of my head, but you'll find it if you go looking for it. So yeah, you don't necessarily have to go to the property, obviously, but click on racetracks and go to the Vulgar Speedway, and you can get entered to win some cool shit. So here are the details on what I've put together so far. And I don't know. Okay, good. I can zoom in. Perfect. So I used AI, so some of the wording will be a little bit weird. But basically, the Vulgar Speedway Sizzle Season competition will be underway as of, today, all through Sizzle Season to September 10th. So if you engage in a thrilling race at the Vulgar Speedway and share a screenshot either to me in Discord or on Upland, you'll be entered for a chance to win Racing Legit and a go-kart. I need to go down, but I can't go down because it hates me. Oh, I can just drag because I'm an idiot. Anyway, property owners at the track who construct a building during the sizzle season can send me a screenshot either in Discord or Upland, and you'll have a chance to win a Racing Legit and a go-kart. So that's 2 go-karts, 2 legits. And then third, owners of trackside structures who add a decorative ornament, which it should be saying structure ornament, to their property will need to send me a screenshot, just like I said before. And then you'll be entered to win a Racing Legit. And for the fourth thing, I will be keeping track of all of the races that are taking place that you're sending me screenshots of. Did I mention that at the very top? Is that the first thing I talked about? Yeah. Okay. So when you send me the screenshots of the races that you've completed, I'm going to keep track of the times, and then I'm going to add that to essentially just a leaderboard, or, well, not a leaderboard. I'm just going to take the fastest time for each tier, MPS tier. I think there's 5 of them. And I'm going to keep track of that. And if you're the top one for the sizzle season, then I will send you a prize to be revealed later. That is exciting to me and hopefully to you as well.
Not announcing what that prize is then?
I am not going to announce what that prize is, just in case there's some kind of hiccup.
But there's going to be one of that prize for each division.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. And then for the grand prize, I'm going to give away 200 Sparklet to one person on September 11th, right before the very end of sizzle season, which will be right before the snapshot, which is on September 15th. So if you want to get in and get that stuff bridged over, you'll have an opportunity so you can reap the benefits of the snapshot. So with all of these things, you can enter them. So for like the races, you can enter 20 fucking races, sending me 20 screenshots. Those will all count, right? If you have multiple properties you're putting buildings on, once it's done, send me a screenshot. You could have 20 of those. I don't care, right? Enter as many times as possible. And then I'm just going to put them in a wheel, spin it, and then everybody who enters is going to be put on this grand prize wheel, and which I'll give the 20 or the 200 Sparklet. The only caveat to the 200 Sparklet is that you have to have a wallet. It's not going to be inside of Upland. It's going to be outside of Upland. So you're going to have a crypto wallet I can send the 200 Sparklet to. I will cover whatever fee it ends up being for me to send the Sparklet to you. And then what you do beyond that is all you. I'm not responsible for any of that. I will get you the Sparklet to your wallet, and what you do beyond that is your decision, whether you bridge that in or if you sell it or sit on it. I don't care, but that would be the deal. So if you win the grand prize of the 200 Sparklet, I will send it to you. If you don't respond to me within 7 days or you decline, I will just go to the next person. I'll spin the wheel again and we'll give it away to somebody else. So you're gonna have 7 days to claim that reward, or I will move on to the next person. So I just want to be super transparent about that. This is my disclaimer. I should have wrote, terms and services up here, but basically it's everything I said already, just kind of outlined here in a little bit more detail. So I have, the price details, and then I also have the different tiers for the MPS score. So there's 5 of them. So I think I'm not going to read the whole thing, but yeah, it goes from the 5th to September 10th, and then I will announce them on the 11th. So hopefully this gets people excited, and it goes right along with the sizzle season racing stuff. So you only qualify if you are racing on the Volger Speedway. So at least for this, but make it a public match and you'll get all the Sizzle season upland racing stuff plus all of my goodies that I'm going to try to give away. So you can get all this information here. I'll probably make another video, or I'll clip this. Actually, I'll probably just clip this, and I'll make this standalone. You'll find it on X. I'll probably be pimping this out for a while. You'll see it on my feed in Upland. I'll put it on Discord. So you should not have any trouble finding this wherever you find me. So please share this around, send it about. And if you want to do some races, let me know and I'll jump on, because I got to hit some racing hard too, because I want to win that damn Block Explorer, that little flame one. Have you seen that thing?
No, I haven't. I've heard about it though.
Dude, it looks fucking sick.
Let's move on to that next.
Yeah, let's go talk about that now. I just wanted to get that out of the way. I'll clip that later and then make it.
I did have a question now. I've forgotten what it was. What was the question? Oh, that's right. Leaderboard. Like, how and when are you going to update people as to whether they're first, last, or in between? Are you going to wait till the end of the season and just tell them at the end, or are you going to give them updates?
I will.
Because right now I'm thinking, okay, I can try and do a race, but I know if City Pigeon shows up, he's just going to kick my ass. So, is there a time I need to beat, or do I just keep trying my own and hope that
I don't know. As soon as I get entries, I'll put them on a spreadsheet, and then I will share that out somewhere. You know what? Maybe I'll even make my own damn Discord server. Maybe I'll work on that, but I will put them up on X, and I'll put them in.
Well, you're already sharing one with James, aren't you? So maybe.
Well, I don't share. It's just his, and I just fuck around on it.
Take over. Take over. Make it hot 50-50.
Yeah. No, it's his thing. He would. That's all
the Atlantic, the Cross Atlantic Discord channel. Yeah, maybe just so I can, make my own servers and put my own stuff in there without feeling like I'm encroaching on whatever he's got going on. Not that I think that he would. There's so many Discord channels now. That's the
problem. I know, that's the thing. I didn't want to create another one, but now that I got this stuff, I don't know, maybe I'll talk to him. Maybe he's open to it. I don't know. I haven't never talked to him about it, so who knows? Maybe he's open to it. Maybe he's not. I'm not gonna push it one way or the other. But I
can tell you one thing: I'll never have my own Discord. Just same as I'll never have my own channel. Just not interested.
Yeah, that's fair. But anyway, I'll put it out. It'll be out in all the places you can find me. So, I don't want to keep that hidden. So, I know in Metaverse Million's server, there's a whole Granada Hills racetrack stuff. At the very least, I'll put it in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
So
it's all Granada Hills related, so I'd be trying to do that and keep it all in one spot.
Yeah, that's been kind of my thing the whole time. Like, we're both very much into Granada Hills, so I don't want to segment that.
If he's Granada Hills CEO, surely you're like, or chief executive or something. Like, surely you're the next rank down.
Yeah, sure.
Or at least an ambassador.
Yes. Yeah. So let's go. Are you up on the page for that?
No.
Chance? Let me see if I can find it.
I can try and look for it if you want.
I got it, I think, actually.
I very rarely read announcements myself. I rely on other content creators to tell me what the news is.
Oh, I'll tell you.
I'm one step ahead of Ben. I don't wait till he starts reading it to go, oh, okay, that's news to me. I usually have got across it with other people, such as yourself and Goldie and a bunch of others. But obviously the Ninjas are brilliant with their release and their information. I love.
Right.
My only complaint with the Ninjas is they're not every day. But I guess there's not enough news for every day. Lately there has been. The last couple of weeks there probably could have.
Yeah, definitely.
But, that little pesky problem of, real life stuff that goes on that, people, jobs and families and whatnot. So.
Okay, so I'm not going to go through the whole Sizzle season racing stuff.
Just go to the highlights. So what do I need to do if I want to win a Block Explorer? Because I'm 99.9% sure I don't. Try
You
and
got
sell me on it.
you got to do public races.
I'm assuming you're
And-
going to be staked.
It's got to be a public staked race, and
Yes,
then
You
in
lost
one
me.
of these tiers,
You
and
lost
then
me.
what?
If I can take an S4 into a kart race, I might think about it.
You could take an S4 into what the 132s, 90 to 132, isn't it?
No, I think it might be the one above. I don't know. I'm just saying my only chance of like doing anything decent is taking S4 into a kart race because they can get back
Yeah, I'd
twice
be in
as
the same
fast.
boat.
I can't win a kart race if I'm the only person in the kart race. In fact, you saw my luck. You saw it on the Ninjas the other day. What I said my luck was like.
Oh, dude, I know that was incredible.
I called it.
You fucking did. Yeah. So in any of these 5 areas, you just need to race and then get into, and they give you points, whatever.
Oh, yeah, so there's your stakes. The more you stake, the more points. Yeah, you've lost me. I don't care how good the Block Explorer is. I'm gone.
It's this. It looks like this.
Yeah,
I think it's cool. I
That's
think it's cool.
it's not horrible, but yeah.
Let's see here. So, damn it, where the fuck is the thing I was looking for?
I'd be more interested if the Block Explorers had some sort of utility attached to them, and they've been talking about that for 3 years. I'm not holding my breath, so
Oh, it's the top 10 racers in each leaderboard.
gets a badge. Again, I just don't care about badges. In fact, I wish I could turn the badges off that I freaking have. I hate them on my Block Explorer.
These badges are only for the fucking championship series, but the Block Explorer is for the
Yeah,
top
but
10
they're the
racers.
sort of badges you actually care about. Those ones that you earn.
Yeah, these
and-
ones we care about.
Yeah. So, like, if I earn, like, do I have any badges I actually care about? I've got, well, once we get the seasons when I'll have 10, but maybe the Genesis Week level 3. I mean, that took a fair bit of work, I guess. Last year, Genesis Week level 3 as well. Unique Structures badge, like, that's one that, you know, not, it takes a bit of work and to get up to it. So maybe I've
You
got
got
3
the 30
badges I
unique structure one?
actually care about. Sorry?
You have the third unique structure one?
Yeah, I had that way back when it first came out, pretty much.
Oh, la-di-da.
Well, I told you, like, and it turned out to be the stupidest decision I made. But when I first started playing, it was my goal to build each. You know, each city has like its unique structure, not the
Yeah.
temporary one, but the permanent one. So if you go to like San Francisco, you got the Lillicorp Tower. So it was my goal to build like and have all the different structures that you could build, like at least one of them in the game. So I was doing that from an early stage. So when that badge came out, I was pretty much already. I think I was like 1 or 2 builds away from having it done. So I wasn't instantly getting it, but I wasn't too far away. But like, what do I get for all these unique buildings that I can't put a structural ornament on? I can't enter it in the tournament, in the competition. They look cool. Yeah, that's about
Yeah.
it. They look cool. So,
Something.
but yeah, you got a Lillicorp Tower. It means you own a decent sized property in San Francisco because it used to be a huge property, which means it's property in the collection, but you can't use it in the structural ornament collection because you can't have a structural ornament on it because there isn't one. Maybe one day they'll allow us to make it for it, but until then, and Lily knows how to use Blender, and she could probably make her own structural ornament for her own building. Maybe, I don't know, but
Likely.
like I'd love that to be an option. So you make your own building, then you can dress up your own building like you want, and maybe only you, as the creator of that building, has the permission to do structural ornaments for that building. Which is, you got to remember too, like the Lillicorp Tower, for example, is only available in San Francisco, so there's only a limited supply. So maybe if she makes a structural ornament thing for it, it's probably going to be a limited run. So maybe, you know, somewhere between 10 and 50 to 100 or something like that. So
Yeah.
it's not like it's going to be other structural ornaments where there's 1,000 of them or something, but or plus. But I mean, these are the things that maybe Upland will let us do one day, but at this stage, nah.
We'll see. Maybe someday.
Eventually, maybe.
Well, what should I look? Part of me wants to get a race in before we sign off of some form. Just saying.
All right, let's do it then.
Which one? Do you want to do race racing or the track hero
I don't
race?
care. Like actually no. If we go the forward drive, I'll kick your ass because my car's better than yours.
Oh, that's true. Well, we could do car. That would take 6 minutes, 8 minutes.
Does it?
I don't know how long did it take the one time.
Do we have anyone watching? Do they want to pick a type of category to do on the? So you can.
I only got a cart and a truck, so I'm
All right,
limited.
you have to choose between a cart and a truck.
Yeah.
So it's an even race in the cart, and he's going to get his ass kicked in the truck.
Yeah, because you got the E.
How about I won't control my truck, and you got to try and beat it.
Fuck that. Let's just race cards. Or we do Track Hero.
We'll do Track Hero another time.
Okay, carts it is.
Carts it is.
We can see who can set the record for carts right now. Tracks, Vulgar Speedway, create a race, and anybody else who wants to jump in of the 5 other people that are here. Well, maybe it's just 4 because I think Swirly, you always are watching the stream. No, they're not going to do a qualifying lap. I'm not going to define NPS. Carts only.
Actually, now I think about it, I've got a new cart.
You do?
I do.
Okay. Well, bust it out.
I will. I was fortunate enough to be on Blue Range show yesterday, day before.
Oh, you were.
One question stuffed me though. What would you have selected? The question was, if you had a choice between receiving one wish for yourself without the option of having additional wishes, or you give 3 wishes to your friends, like 1 to each of 3 friends, what would you do?
I would take the wish.
See, and that's what everybody but me on the show said.
Because
and
if I take the wish, I can still give to others.
Well, what sort of friends do you have if you don't trust them to give them a wish? Even have 1 of the 3 come good. What does that say?
It's not about my friends. It's about me. I'm a control freak. I need to have control. I need to know. And
everybody on the show with the meet afterwards saying, "Oh, you can't trust your friends." I'm like, what sort of friends do you have if that's the case? Like, I just didn't even think of it. I just went, "Yeah, that's the answer." Bang. And then I was horrified to find out I was the only person, it might have been 2 of us, that got it wrong. And I'm like, wow, I need to be way more selfish and self-centered. And
yeah, you do. What should the entry fee be on this?
I might have won if it wasn't for that question. Well, do you have to have an entry fee?
It has to be paid.
How much do you need? 70,000 upix.
Yeah. I think the max is 100,000. I'm just gonna do 2,000. I'll go with this one. And then select that car.
Where is he? I can't see your track race coming up yet, but I'm expecting City Pit. What part of the States does he live in? Is he East Coast or West?
I do not know.
Because if he's East Coast, it might be too late for him. We might be safe.
That's what I'm banking on.
And we might be safe. I don't know what side he is. He might be in the middle.
It's open. It's open now to everybody.
He might be in the middle and have a bet each way.
We'll see. Oh, let me share this.
Your track. I'm trying to work it out, but it looks like a shape. It looks like a dress or a shirt, except for the right-hand side of it got a bit weird. Here I come with my new
I don't remember if we have to have like a minimum of 3 people or not.
Oh, for the
Let me look
time,
it up.
for the season thingy.
Yeah, let me look here.
Just get more points, don't you, if there's more people?
Yeah. I could have swore you needed like, yeah, you need 3 people. Race against 2 other real players. We need one more person. Who's going to join us?
Who's going to take our money?
Who wants 4,000 UPX?
Well, you don't get all of it because one of us
Well,
will be
you
second.
know, you get who wants 2,527 UPX.
Or thereabouts.
There, yeah. Well, whatever it ends up being with the third person. Just need one. Who's coming with us? JP, Wolf, Vape. Who else we got? Picasso. Let's race. Get a cat. Get a cat, jump in the race. Otherwise, it's just going to be me and Swarley for nothing, except for leaderboard. There we go. There's Vape. What's up, partner?
That'll do.
All right. Anybody
Wait,
else going to
let's
join
go.
us?
Well, City Pigeon comes. I'm scared
Anybody
of that
else?
guy. He wins everything.
I know, me too. We're going to get fucked. If you're jumping on, let me know real quick. Otherwise, I'm going to press the button.
No, I don't care about $2,000 UPX. I'll survive without it, I guess.
Yeah.
If I can burn burn legits. I know I'm not going to get the Block Explorer, so I'm not going to keep going at this.
Oh, I'm going to get that motherfucker.
This is what fucks up your account, though. You want to grow and have a bigger account, you got to focus it in the right direction.
But if I get the Block Explorer, Swarley, and then I
Which has
sell
no
it.
utility and will not bring in any income.
But if I sell it and I make money on it, then I can add that to the game.
Because there's not going to be 200 of them given out.
There's only going to be hood rats, carts. Ooh. Vape, you just keep me in the loop on that one. I want to collect some cats.
I need to go over there and figure that out. Ben sent me something to like the place where you start. No, I'm not
All
part
right,
of it. But I need to get involved in it. I feel like I'm missing out.
And what?
The hood. I assume he's talking about the what's it called? The green.
Oh, in the
Evergreen.
Evergreen Lasher.
Yeah. I'm sure that's what the EL78 means, is the Evergreen
Yeah.
Lashes. I don't know why EL78 means that, but apparently I think it does. I don't know.
It's the only
Oh, shit.
weird thing about my track. It's on a corner, and it's weird. It's
Yeah.
cooked out weird here.
Yeah, there's some spots that just don't look right. Maybe you should message them and say, fix my track.
You fucking well, God! It took forever for them just to get it.
At least you
on.
got it. I didn't beat you, which I was so looking forward to that.
I know.
I was so looking forward to going, hey, let's go for a race on my track in Washington. But it didn't happen. Look at that base at the back there. I'm scared just looking at it.
Oh my God! Get out of here!
Look at it.
I got my little hot rod.
Vape's cart is fucking awesome. I'm going to Skyview just so I can look at his cart.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same. Oh, what the fuck?
Hey, I'm saying it's a beast.
That thing is cool.
I'm scared. Like I'm not picking a fight with him. Vape knows. Alright. Is there like a double X like on YouTube for this?
I wish.
team.
There's another property that just popped up right there. That brown one. There's my phantom cart.
Oh,
Babe, you better chill the fuck out, man.
I'm watching him like boost, and I'm like, oh, I should have blocked it. And I'm like, damn it, I keep forgetting that you can block in this game. I just don't race enough.
Damn, I keep forgetting to turn that arrow around.
No, wrong way, go back.
Oh, there's my house. I put the structural ornament on. Looks sexy as fuck.
Isn't it a bloody good looking? That whole range, Tossad's done an amazing job of that.
Yeah.
I hope he makes a fortune from this season because it's pretty much that and the eye, pretty much it that you can buy. I hope he sells out because they are just. I mean, there's only 10 of them, so that's why it's so expensive. 75,000 is a lot to pay for a structural ornament, but geez, they're how good. Especially that dragon that was already sold out. How good is that? I was like, if I was going to spend 75, I want that dragon. But it was already gone. A few over here. Do you mean? Oh, a few what over here? Are we talking the carts or are we talking the structural ornaments?
God, I want one of those cards. Those cards.
I think he's talking carts, and if so, I'm interested. If the structural ornaments, I've already got them.
I need to get some cards for this giveaway, so I need to go buy some.
Oh, properties and evergreen. Oh well, that I need to do too. So
yeah, JP hooked it up on me. Like, you know, he's a good dude. 242. Currently, Babe High Guy owns the fastest lap.
What are we on to? Lap 2 or 3? All right. I'm known for finishing last, so we're going to keep it that way. So do I just need to buy any property that's for sale in Evergreen? Is that what you're saying? Do I need more than one or just one? That's a kart track that's submitted. What makes it a kart track? Is it smaller than the minimum 2 miles or whatever?
Yeah, the kart tracks I think are a mile or less or something.
Have they created a whole different section for it now, have they? Because that'd be pretty cool if they have. So I wanted to create a kart track in Washington, but like at this stage, as far as I knew, you had to be over 2 miles or something.
Yeah, 2 miles is I think it's 2.5 maybe is the max
for a kart.
No,
so
for a medium track, you can only make medium tracks, I think.
Not yet, yeah. I think they should be able to let you make a track that's under a mile, but for kart use only, so you can't race, S1s and shit on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be
you
the way to go. So you can go make a kart track, which I think would be the way to go because pretty much anyone can afford a kart. Not everyone can afford an S1. And because karts are so even, then you can practice about a level playing field. I would make a kart track head every day of the week over a normal track if I could. I think you'd get a lot more use out of it, especially if it's like 3 laps, a minute a lap for 3 laps or something like that. I think it would be about right.
Right.
A mile is the limit. So you're saying it is a kart track. Short as possible. Yeah, that's what I agree. 1 mile, a minute mile. That sounds about right, doesn't it?
Oh, I tried to block Vape, but he got by me.
He's gonna take the money. I keep forgetting I can change lanes. I just don't know how to race. I'm so bad at this. I don't know what I'm worth at, racing or running. Track hero or this.
Come on, baby.
Well, at least you still doing all right. I'm so far behind. I can't even see it.
Have you even used a boost yet?
Yeah. Have you used all your boosts?
No, I still got one left. I'm saving that for Vape's ass here in a minute.
I think that's that heavy block explorer I'm carrying around. It's weighing me down.
Thick.
Welcome to the neutral space where we embrace differences that make us great. Together we create. From coast to coast we boast. Our adventures never slow. The vulgar unlander.
It's close. I don't know if my boost is going to be enough.
Well, mine ain't going to be enough, that's for sure.
Babe, you raced you by yourself last night? You got the edge on me?
Swaying in the neutral space where vulgar and smally embrace. American flair, Aussie grace. Together they conquer any space. From the land down under.
I took the lead.
Exploring the world.
Do I got enough to hold it? Is the question.
Well, I ain't going to beat you, that's for sure.
Could I do it? Could I take home the victory? Just give me my first real victory.
Brain checks like.
Yes.
And in a surprising twist, I came last.
You did your best.
Racing is not for me. Well, I'm very glad I donated money to you and Babe.
803.631 is the current cart best time for the Boulder Speedway.
And now I'll be on the leaderboard in last place.
Yeah, I made 708 UpX on that race.
Oh, a few more of those and you can buy that property in London.
Oh my god, I only need like, I don't know how many more of those I need. Enough. A lot. Let's see here. Where's my print screen button? There it is.
The Evergreen Lashes, that's in Detroit, was it? Or is it?
It's in Detroit, yeah.
Yeah. And that's the name of the neighborhood, isn't it? Evergreen? Oh,
Yeah.
7-8. That's where the 7-8 comes from. It's so easy when you see it. Mark up. Let's see what it will cost me to buy a property in Evergreen. 169% markup. What the hell?
It's expensive.
And that's USD. Or I can go the UpX route for 413%. I don't normally do this, but let's go floor price. What's that going to set me back? No, it's the same. It didn't change. So the lowest
What
markups.
cart were you using?
It wasn't that expensive 2 months ago. No, when Ben got in it and he didn't tell me anything about it. What did you say? What was that?
What cart were you using?
the one that Blue Rain gave me.
I've not
Would
seen.
you like to see it?
I would love to see it.
It's some sort of American thing, I think. Stand by. I will. Why have I got two messages? Oh, because I just did a race. Duh.
Oh, I was like, I have 2 messages too.
That shows you how much I race. I get a Flora's moving fast. Yeah, I'm fearing that. Do I only need one though, or do I need multiples? Like, what's the deal with the node? 'Cause normally, if I try and get into a node, I try and get all 3. But
Yeah, I need to try to get. I want to get 3. I think you just need 1. Is there a special deal for their cart if you own property in Evergreen Lasher?
all right, let's do this. Present, share screen, entire window.
We're gonna have to wrap this thing up here soon.
Yeah, we do. You wanted to see my cart? I was racing this one,
You show me yours, I'll show you mine.
which was mint 147 out of 777, called the Real Node Racing Factory Red Eagle Go Kart.
Red Eagle Go Kart.
And this is what you can end up with if you go on Blue Rain Show on, I think, your time Saturday night and play a fun game, which is a bit of fun, to be fair.
I do like that game.
It's fun. I think I'm going to line up my missus to play next week, maybe. I don't know. See if she was keen. She loves, Family Feud. Of course, you guys have Family Feud. I've watched what's his name on YouTube all the time.
Vic, I'll take you up on that deal.
What was the deal? What am I missing out on? I feel like I'm missing out on something.
He said he's gonna trade me a track prop for a track prop. I'm down with that. Let's see here.
I'll raise his track prop for a track prop with a building on it.
Whoa, bro!
What did I buy on your track prop? I think I got like 5 or 6.
Maybe hook you up with the track prop too. I just
I've
gotta
got
find
the
one.
what's that big ass building called? I got 2 of them.
Oh god. The one where you're emasculating me?
Yeah. Oh, I should bring that up, shouldn't I? Where is it? So we don't need to look at. So I've got 3 carts and 2 cars. Well, a big spender over here. I don't remember which one it was though. That's the problem.
Which one's this one?
Oh, that's
Oh,
that's
it's the one on Byron. I have it on mine. Oh wait, you'll get it. It's right there. Left.
Which one? Byron.
Byron.
Here.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe look like a bitch.
Do we feel like someone's compensating for something? But one of us doesn't need to show anything off, and the other one's like obviously got some sort of complex.
It's not the size that matters, it's how you use. My property's bigger than yours.
I know, and you didn't even put like a normal townhouse. You put the smallest townhouse you can. The only thing you could have done worse was the micro house, which I hate.
Look, man, I'm not
Micro
flooded with
house.
spark. I don't got spark coming out of my asshole like you do.
You do now.
But, oh, please. I wish.
The only problem with doing those ones is you can't decorate them. So same as this one. Because I'm thinking you come down the track here and it's going to be right in your eye line as you're coming around the corner. And I
Yeah.
thought that'd be awesome because it's going to be smack bang there. And then I'm like, oh, but you can't decorate it. Like I can't make it look cool or. And I'm like, oh, I want to decorate it. So
Man, it looks cool.
I'll have to do something on this one here and
Making mine look like a baby.
Yeah, it did. When I saw that go up, I was like, "That's just gold." Right there. How do you sum up Swally and Elsak in the one picture without saying anything?
Yeah. Where's this one? Oh, this one's my cart.
But they are pretty cool buildings compared to some of the ones I just brought out for Paris. I mean, a couple of those Paris ones are alright. In fact, the one they've got at the moment's not too bad. I don't have any properties that I can put it on, but so this is what I want to do: have like the buildings along the track, but we've all decorated and stuff.
Hmm.
So this, who owns these? This is pretty cool. Boy, but yeah, I can imagine if we get enough speedway that we can just line the track with the fences. Because you come down here and then down this alleyway, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! Apparently, I'm building something here. I didn't even know.
God, I didn't even realize. Just building some shit.
Well, I'm thinking, why am I building it? It's not a collection property. It's not green. That don't make sense. Well, I'm probably just because it's your track. I don't know. You want to see how many I've got buildings going on? We're not going to count it. I'm not going to screen dump it. See how little the little tag is?
Yep, I see it. Good God. What in the
I
fuck?
think you get the message. All right, I have PTSD from bloody hearing my alarm go off every 3 minutes because I was just doing a build every 3 minutes and I spent all day doing that. I've said before, and the reason behind it, like this is pretty much every single build that I will do in the next 12 months or so, maybe even longer. I don't mind having it.
I'll do in the lifetime of this game.
No, that'd be 12 months, maybe 18 months. Like if I left everything the way it is, it'll take 2 years to build everything. Most of those are 500 days or something like that. Like for example, well, that's probably not a good example. Well, this one, no, that's your factory. That's a bad one to pick. Let's just pick a random. All right, so this is minimum stake on an apartment. So if I did not touch this again, so 2 years, just under 2 years to build it. Yeah. So worst case scenario, I don't touch anything in 2 years' time. I've got all of those buildings will be done. But the reason why I've done this, and it seems pretty stupid, and I've seen a stupid amount. I didn't think it was going to take anywhere near as long as it did. I'm almost embarrassed to say it took a long time. Is I've said it before that at some point in the future they're going to rebalance Spark.
Yeah.
Now, sure. I will be 100% vindicated if that happens sooner rather than later. But even if it happens inside the next 12 months, and they go, right, from this point forward, any new build that you create is going to cost X amount more than what it currently costs. If that happens, and I've locked in the prices for all those builds at this price, it means in 2 years or less, it'll be less, all those buildings will be done
August 26th.
Current Spark price. Now it seems like bad because it looks like if I don't touch any of those, then I'm not going to have. Oh, what am I doing? Wrong thing. I'm not going to have like free Spark for 2 years, but that's not the case because whilst most of those are minimum stake, I'm going to have buildings like that's your factory. So once that's finished, that'll free up 20 Spark that I can put somewhere. But I'll have enough Spark to probably max out 2 or 3 builds on top of. Oh, we just. Hey, Biden, we just looked at your properties.
Yeah, we were just looking at
Santa feet sticking out. You must have heard us talking about you. So I'm going to have probably. So technically on the go, I've only ever really got 2 builds at maximum, maybe 3 builds at maximum, and so every week or probably once or twice a week I'll have a building finish. So as the more finished, the faster it will go and all that sort of stuff. So it'll end up being 3, 4, 5 at max builds. But all those costs for Spark hours are all locked in at the current price. If they don't up the Spark cost for in the next 12 months, then it's just going to cost the same as it would have cost anyway, and I wasted a few hours and that's it. So to me, it's either break even or end up well in front. So if they do up it and say it went up double it from what it is now, I'll get twice as much building done in the next 12 months as the next person with the same amount of Spark, obviously, because they can have twice as much Spark and do the same.
Hashtag facts.
So that's my thinking behind it. Like, it was a ridiculous amount of hours. I thought it was going to take me a couple of hours, 3 or 4 hours. I was going to do some blendering for James UK. Instead, I ended up doing this, and it took me all day and then most of the night. But the other thing is, like, these basically are all either going to be showroom properties or collection properties. So
Right.
basically, if I need a certain showroom built, well, then I can focus my Spark over there, and in a week or two's time, it'll be done. Or if I want a certain collection property done, I can do that. Or if I need something that I haven't even put on the list, I can just free up some Spark and go put that on the list and go build that if it's something out of the blue, i.e., an Evergreen Lashes property that I need to put a building on or something. So that's my thought. Look, only time will tell with it. I mean, every time I try and second guess Upland, I get it wrong. So I'm sure this will be no different.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. So, but that's I don't. If I could bring up it on the what do you call it? The Spark Exchange site where you can bring up your own builds. It'll show me exactly how many builds I'd have there, and then I could go, yep, but it's well over 100.
Yeah,
I know that much. Well over 100 builds. So that's why I was running out of Spark, and I had to take it off your factory for a bit there because I thought, yeah, I got plenty of Spark just to set up all these builds, and I just went through and put a build on, or started a build on every single collection property just about that I have. Why? Because I can. I think I'm not too stressed. Like, yeah, it might come in handy down the track for structural ornament competition, but I'm not really interested in that, to be fair. Maybe I'll get more involved in that. I want to see that revamped before I get interested in it. I just don't think there's any reward for a player to buy a bigger property and put a decent structure on it, as opposed to just, and you get 1 point for that, as opposed to a micro house on a crap property on a blue collection. Like, it just makes no sense. And then you can do that in the last day too. So I could sit back, I could have 1,000 ornaments in my back pocket, and then sit back and wait till the very last day and just dong them all on and win the tournament and just come out of nowhere and win it, which kind of what Ben did in the first season. Back in, what's the first season? The Frost season?
Yeah.
He literally, on virtually the last day of the season, put on one structural ornament on one of his buildings, despite the fact that he owned like 100. Put one structural ornament on that very last day and end up with the same prize, i.e. a Block Explorer, as I did, having 30 something on my properties and trying to take on Shaq and realizing that I wasn't going to win. So I was like, I learned my lesson there. I was like, oh, what's the point in trying to compete? Make it a game. Make them different points. Like, if you put this should be worth way more points than, let's go back to the proper comparison. So if this property was competing with you in your structural ornament, why should these two be worth the same?
Because again, it's not the size that matters; it's how you use it.
Yeah, you're talking 1,000 spark hours or whatever it is, as opposed to 400 million spark hours. Like,
yeah, but if I buy a structural ornament, that purchase is more valuable than the amount of spark that you put into this building, obviously.
But again, and I think, and I only own 2 properties that are ultra rare collections, so I'm definitely not going to benefit from that if they ever do that. But how is an ultra rare worth the same points as a common?
No, I agree with you. I think that's super dumb. You're right. Like, the more expensive buildings, like, that take more resources.
Time should be worth something too. So you can't wait till the last day and dawn something on. Like, you should be able to, like, track your progress, but each day, like, a property should be worth X amount of points per day. So if you set them all up on day one, and you got 2 weeks to prepare for each season, so it's not like it's a secret. So you can be prepared and spend some time in that off season and get ready for the next structural ornament season, and get all your, for whatever coming season it is, and get them all ready. I mean, we've got the Halloween one coming up soon. I think, is that the next one? Or the one after? Whichever one it is, there's going to be a crap load of ornaments out there for the Halloween one, because Upland have done plenty of Halloween stuff. You've got all those creepy kid ones. There's so many structural ornaments out there, cheap ones. It's going to be one where we're going to see some high scoring points.
Yeah, it's going to be Harvest is next.
As the Harvest is next, and then must be the one after that for Halloween. But like the Halloween one, it's going to be one that's just going to be super competitive because there's so much already out there. Where you got Sizzle Season, there's so little out there. Your leaderboard is going to be, I think the winner's probably going to have just double figures, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on, because Tosshead's got a few out there, and there's a couple of 100 runs out there. So maybe someone snaps up, 10 of those each, but they're still 20,000 UPX each. So it's not going to be cheap to end up with 10, 20 ornaments this season. And the only other ones you can get when Upland do their releases, the ones they sell for USD. So I can't see anyone buying 10 of those unless they've got money they don't know what to do with. So this season alone, you're not going to need a lot of points to score well, but we'll do.
So maybe my one will get me on the leaderboard.
One will get you on the leaderboard, whether it gets you a prize. You need top 50 is what you want to aim for, because someone in the top 50 each week gets a sparklet drop. That's what I mean. So if nothing else, if you get in the top 50, will you get in the top 50 with one? Maybe not. I think two will probably get in the top 50.
Oh, I can get two.
Because I'd say two almost definitely will, because a lot of people will just get the one they need for the season and that's it.
Yeah.
So if you go the extra one, you'll jump ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it probably wouldn't be the worst idea to get a second one, but then wait for Upland to do their ornament, because I haven't looked at them. I haven't looked at that release yet, but from what I'm hearing, people are loving the structural ornaments for this season. So
yeah, we might check that out next week, because I don't know about you. Well, I do know about you, but over here where I'm at, and way worse for some other people like Wolf, it's like 12:30 for me, and I got to wake up hella early. I'm gonna have to sign
on
off
already.
You see these eyes getting real heavy. Hey JP, thanks.
Thanks, mate.
One of these times you're gonna have to jump on with us and come hang out outside the chat. Anyway, but yeah, let's try Track Hero next week.
Maybe.
See what, okay, maybe, fair enough. If nothing else, we'll do some more racing and we'll talk some more bullshit.
Some treasure hunting. Oh, that's right. We can't do that on PC.
Right. Go hit a kangaroo and then report back.
The only car I have now is my Mrs. Ford. What is it? A Ford Focus. So it not much bigger than a kangaroo.
Oh,
so in a kangaroo,
up in that thing.
I might come up. I might be the one going to hospital, not it. Yeah. So I got rid. I had a truck just like the one in my inventory, but I had to sell it because we didn't need two vehicles, and I was just running K's up on it for no reason. So it was just had to remove assets.
Oh, I wonder if he's sending me an offer. All right.
I must be. All
Yeah.
right. Well,
Let's get out of here. Oh, thanks, babe. I'll check it out here in a second. Yeah, let's get together next week. I'm sure we'll talk during the week as well.
I think he's not taking me up on the I'll see your offer and raise it.
No, he said to hit him up.
Oh, did he? I must have missed it.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
look through,
Has he got a whole heap over there, has he?
he said, let's chat, both of you, is what he said,
Copy that.
at 12:20. So, all right, yeah, I'm going to go get some shut-eye, wake up hella early in the morning, hopefully not crash on my way to work. Because
Please don't.
keep me up all
Definitely
night.
don't record it.
No, I'm going to record it. I'm like, this is for you, Swarley. You son of a bitch.
Hey, I'm not the one. Hey, it's 5:30 for me in the afternoon. I'm not. I've always said you're the one that needs to sign off. I'm not me.
No, I will be 100% fine. I do this all the time, so I have a system, so I'm good to go. But anyway, yeah, let's do this again soon, like next Monday, as I jokingly say every time.
I will say, Vape, if you do have another one, you saw my 2 properties with the building on it. I'm happy to swap one of those 2 for one of yours. They're both trackside with that unique structure from from LA. So they don't do anything much more than look pretty. Up to you, mate. All right, I'll catch you later, my friend.
All right, yeah, we'll talk soon. All right, everybody, thanks for hanging out, and we will check you next week. Don't forget to head over to Boulder Speedway and get your races in and submit all the shit to me, so that way I can give you some stuff for free. So, all right, guys, I'll see you later.
All right, that's it.